0%. Chapter 1. Taiping Road, Yuyunzhou, Wu State. The Lin family is only one of the 4 third-rank families in Qinjiang County. 100 years ago, because of the failure to promote the 4th-rank family, the family line declined, and there was only one foundation building cultivator in the clan. Lin Haoyang, the 9th-generation descendant of the Lin family, has been practicing Taoism for 10 years since he started practicing Taoism at the age of 6. A few days ago, he had just crossed the 5 layers of condensed veins and he was regarded as the backbone of the family. Lin Haoyang has been able to cultivate since he was 6 years old, thanks to a jade fault left by his parents when he was born. This jade fault nourishes his soul every day and makes his soul naturally stronger than others. He has a strong soul, a good sense of wisdom, and cultivation, naturally faster than others. Although it is the fire, Golden Wood 3 spiritual roots cultivator, it is no longer slower than the 2nd spiritual roots cultivator, or even faster. Lin's White Elephant Peak. As soon as Lin Haoyang received his merits, he hurriedly opened the gate of Immortal Cave and welcomed the 7th-generation descendants of the Lin family, the general servant elder, Lin Mengchun, and said respectfully, "I wonder if the 14th grand uncle came in person today. What's the matter with me?" Lin Mengchun hesitated, and after some words, he said, "The family failed to be promoted to the 4th rank 100 years ago, the middle way declined, and the patriarch was recruited by the Azure Cloud School 20 years ago and was injured. By now, the family has reached the most critical time. The ancestor Lin Yinian used most of the 12-character generation of Yiren Siwan, Qinmeng Xuanshu, and Bast Zhu Li. There are 150 cultivators in the family, and the 5 cultivators are too old. Except for the patriarch of the foundation building, all of them have gone to the back mountains to provide for the elderly. The 57 children of the rare, vast, and vast generations are under 18 years old. Now there are only the backbone of the 3 generations of Meng, Zan, and Shu. Among them, there are 9 people in the Meng character generation, 32 in the Zan character generation, 34 in the Shu character generation, and 20 in the Hao character generation. But now there is not enough manpower at home, and spirit stones are even more lacking. The family wants you to go down the mountain ahead of time and go to the wasteland in the east of Lian Valley to open up wasteland and expand the spiritual field." Quote. After listening to Lin Mengchun's words, Lin Haoyang frowned slightly. According to family rules, he could cultivation in the family until he was 18, and then perform tasks for the family. In the past 2 years, he was absolutely sure to break through to the 7 states of Ningmai. At that time, I will learn a fairy tale, and spend some time to accumulate spirit stones, and then borrow some from my family, and I will have a chance to impact the foundation building. Seeing that Lin Haoyang was reluctant, Lin Mengchun also knew that this was indeed a bit difficult for Lin Haoyang, but among the children of Haoyang under the age of 18, only Lin Haoyang had the highest cultivation base and was the most suitable for this task, so he said, "It's difficult now at home. In the past few years, the cultivation speed is the fastest for you, and the family takes good care of you. With your grandpa, your treatment has caught up with the late-stage cultivator. As long as you agree to go down the mountain this time, the cultivation technique in the vein coagulation period at home is at your disposal, plus a subsidy of 5 spirit stones per month, including your own treatment, it is enough for your cultivation." Lin Mengchun gave some persuasion and added various benefits. In addition, the family has indeed taken good care of Lin Haoyang over the years. Even if Lin Haoyang was reluctant to do so, Lin Fan agreed to go to Wasteland and open up sacred land for family considerations. "Okay, I promise." Seeing that Lin Haoyang had agreed to this matter, Lin Mengchun was overjoyed. In recent years, the patriarch closed-door training has recovered from his wounds, and his household chores are under his control. This matter has really been embarrassing for him for a long time. Without waiting, Lin Mengchun immediately took Lin Haoyang to the Tibetan scripture pavilion. First, he copied all the materials related to Lingzi planting at home to Lin Haoyang, and then took Lin Haoyang to choose the cultivation technique, fireball in the 5-door coagulation period. Shu, control object, move cloud and rain, fly cloud step, wood cloud technique. In addition to the 2 spells he learned before, Lin Haoyang has 7 spells in his hand, which can already be mastered by most of the veins in late stage. After handing over the spiritual rice seeds and the first-order top-grade elixir yellow rice grass seeds, Lin Haoyang bid farewell to Lin Mengchun and came to his grandfather Lin Xuancheng's home. After Lin Haoyang talked to Lin Xuancheng about the wasteland reclamation, Lin Xuancheng sighed. He knew the situation at home these years, and he also supported Lin Haoyang to go to the wasteland. Before Lin Haoyang left, he secretly stuffed Lin Haoyang a second-tier inferior storage bag, a second-tier inferior magical item white scale sword and 50 spirit stones, which were basically all of Lin Xuancheng's wealth. Lin Xuancheng is a second-tier high-grade refiner. Lin Xuancheng is old enough to have a son. He is now nearly 70 and can no longer go out to fight. He can only refine magical items in his family to do his best. Therefore, these things might as well be given. Lin Haoyang, let this young descendant go out and do something on his own. With Lin Xuancheng's gift, Lin Haoyang's worth has skyrocketed. The second-order inferior storage bag is equivalent to the second-order middle-grade magical item, plus the second-order inferior magical item Balin sword. Lin Haoyang's net worth now exceeds 400 spirit stones, at home has surpassed most of the children in the generations of sparse characters. It took nearly 5 days for Lin Haoyang to arrive at Baixiang Mountain 3,400 miles away from Yanggu. Lian Valley is a valley surrounded by 3 mountain peaks. The Lin family also explored this place back then. There is no spiritual vein, so there is no demonic beasts gathering here. Looking at the environment surrounded by mountains on 3 sides away from Yanggu, Lin Haoyang nodded. Such an environment is suitable for establishing a spiritual field. Lin Haoyang considered the 3 peaks, and finally decided to build a mortal cave in a cave to the north. This cave is not very big, but it is definitely enough to accommodate 2 or 3 people. Besides, there is a stream in this cave, which makes Lin Haoyang feels good. After a brief layout, Lin Haoyang began to investigate various places in Lian Valley. He had to find a place suitable for establishing spiritual veins, otherwise it would be impossible to open spiritual fields. The 3 peaks are not too tall, only about 600 to 700 meters, and the valley in the middle is only 1,000 acres in size. A small stream flows out of the Lin Haoyang Immortal Cave, dividing the valley into 2 halves. Lin Haoyang first took a round on the 3 peaks and found that apart from the beautiful scenery, there is no spiritual qi in the 3 peaks. If you want to cultivate spiritual veins on these 3 peaks, you need to use spirit stones to smash them out. The Lin family now cannot withstand such a consumption. Therefore, Lin Haoyang went around and looked at the nearby 1,000 acres of flat land. In addition to the fertile soil, it was also not conducive to the establishment of spiritual veins. Finally, Lin Haoyang came to the creek. This creek was already the last hope. If there is still nothing to discover, he can only report the truth to the family, and then ask the family elder to cultivate a spiritual vein from the beginning. The creek is not wide, about 5 meters, there are many gravel inside, and there is a big deep pool at one section, 100 meters wide, and the water is blue. It can be seen that the water here is very deep. When he got here, Lin Haoyang was happy, because he felt a sense of spiritual qi here. Although spiritual qi is not thick, it has reached the first order inferior grade. Lin Haoyang guessed that this spiritual vein should have only formed soon. If there is no Lin family, this spiritual vein will continue to grow in thousands of years. But the Lin family can't wait for so long. As long as it cooperates with the spirit gathering formation, it can promote the evolution of the spirit veins. As long as it reaches the first level middle grade, it can start to open up the spirit field and plant the spirit plants. After checking the surroundings, he found that there was no other discovery. Lin Haoyang immediately told Lin Mengchun about the situation in this place with a sound transmission talisman. When the sound transmission talisman turned into a green light and flew towards the White Elephant Mountain, Lin Haoyang returned to his own temporary immortal cave. 1.0%. Chapter 2 Upgrading the Spirit Vessel. It took about 5 days from Lin's White Elephant Mountain to Li Yanggu, and Lin Haoyang was not idle. He used the past few days to go around Lian Valley, but he felt that the place was good. The encirclement of the 3 mountain peaks is very suitable for the formation of formation. Even if outsiders come here, it is difficult to find the situation in the valley. Open a spiritual field here, safety is also guaranteed. 5 days later, the people from the Lin family who rushed to build the spirit gathering formation finally arrived. There were 3 people, 2 cultivators from the generation of sparse characters, the same generation as Lin Haoyang's father, and 1 cultivator from the Mencius generation, Lin Mengzhou. Although Lin Mengzhou's cultivation base only has 8 levels of condensing veins, it is a second-tier high-grade formationist, and his status is comparable to the elder of the 9 levels of condensing veins in his family. This time Lin Mengzhou came to build the spirit gathering formation. He already brought the materials. After observing the terrain, Lin Mengzhou decided to build the spirit gathering array with the water pool as his eye and 3 peaks as the roots. In this way, even if the spirit field expands in the future, don't worry about spiritual qi unevenness. After selecting the foundation of the formation, Lin Mengzhou began to arrange the spirit gathering formation. Lin Mengzhou and 2 cultivators spent 9 middle-grade spirit stones and 300 lower-grade spirit stones to complete the arrangement of the second-tier medium-grade spirit gathering formation. As a large number of spirit stones merged into the formation, the spiritual qi between heaven and earth rose suddenly, and even bubbles appeared in the deep pool. Seeing this scene, Lin Haoyang was delighted. This was the scene brought by the advancement of spiritual veins. The spiritual qi that a large number of spirit stones melted and injected directly raised this spiritual vein to a small level, reaching a middle grade. Lin Mengzhou looked at Shenton and smiled, and said to Lin Haoyang, "In this way, it won't be a loss for me to spend so much effort to build the spirit gathering array, and the spirit vessel can be raised to the first tier middle grade, and it can also open up about 10 acres of spiritual fields. The next step is to look at Haoyang." Lin Haoyang bowed his body and said, "Haoyang must do his best." Hearing what Lin Haoyang said, Lin Mengzhou nodded, and after a few greetings, he hurried back with 2 cultivators. After Lin Mengzhou left, Li Yonggu became quiet again. Lin Haoyang did not idle. Surrounding the deep pool, Lin Haoyang opened up 10 acres of land. Under the nourishment of spiritual qi, these land has been turned into a spiritual field, and Lin Haoyang also took advantage of the opportunity to spread 9 acres. Ling rice and an acre of yellow rice grass. Lin Haoyang built a small house by the deep pool, so that he could take care of the spiritual field and cultivation. To take care of the spiritual field, you must learn 2 spells, the deworming needle and the cloud and raining technique. Deworming needles must be learned by the spiritual planter. Without the share of Lin Haoyang's 5 spells, if he doesn't learn the cloud and rain technique, Lin Haoyang can only carry water and irrigate it. According to Lin Haoyang's savvy and powerful divine sense, these 2 spells can be mastered in 1 or 2 months. 10 days later, Lin Haoyang's spiritual rice and yellow rice grass began to sprout. Since then, Lin Haoyang needs to water the spiritual water once on the 15th. Fortunately, Lin Haoyang has initially learned how to use cloud and rain. However, it is still very unfamiliar. Lin Haoyang will run out of spiritual qi at one time. This is because the deep pool is on the side. It is very convenient to absorb water vapor. If it is far away, it may not be successful. Lin Haoyang took care of Lingmi and Yellow Spartina, while cultivating 2 techniques, deworming needle and cloud raining technique. 2 months later, Lin Haoyang finally mastered it. Once the cloud raining technique was used, Lin Haoyang could still have half of it. Spirit power. Ling rice is better to take care of. In addition to watering it is to repel insects, yellow rice grass is more difficult. It needs to be turned over every other month so that the air can blend into the soil, so that yellow rice grass can grow better and the roots will not be lost, rot. Soon, 1 year passed. In this year, Lin Haoyang was able to cultivation all the spells of the 5-door condensing phase that he had exchanged from the Tibetan scripture pavilion. Because he seldom cultivation with all his heart, spirit power did not increase much, only cultivation. It may take a few months for the breakthrough to reach the 5th stage of the condensing vein. During this period, the ling rice around Shenton finally matured. It was already the picking season, but the yellow rice grass was still greenish, but it grew taller. Spirit rice is different from ordinary rice in that the grains are very large, and only 5 to 6 spiritual rice can be picked from 1 ear of rice. If you want to pick these spiritual rice, you need to pick it by hand by Lin Haoyang. But when the spiritual rice was mature, Lin Haoyang's expression changed on the day he was about to pick it, and he found that all the spiritual rice within 10 meters of the deep pool was lying on the ground, and the spiritual rice on it was also missing, as if it had been swallowed by some spirit beast. Lin Haoyang took out the memorial and told the family about the matter, and hurriedly picked all the 9 acres of spiritual rice to avoid further losses. 9 acres of spiritual rice yielded about 1,500 caddies of spiritual rice, which is almost 100 spirit stones income, and the lost spiritual rice is almost 5 cents of the output, which is equivalent to the loss of 5 spirit stones. My family knows that today's spiritual rice is harvested. 2 cultivators of the mysterious generation brought 2 cultivators from the ignorant generation to transport the spiritual rice. When they heard that demonic beasts were stealing the spiritual rice, they were all shocked. Lingmi left Liangu with his transportation. It takes 5 days to travel from Baixiang Mountain to Lian Valley. During these 5 days, Lin Haoyang has been turning over the land and planting new spiritual rice seeds, On the other hand, he has carefully taken care of the yellow rice grass, lest the demonic beasts eat it again and cause more loss. After 5 days of observation, Lin Haoyang guessed that the demonic beasts who stole the Ling rice were hiding in the deep pool in the center of the Ling Tian. Without knowing demonic beasts and other ranks, Lin Haoyang did not dare to take the risk easily, until Lin Mengzhou and Lin Mengge came together 5 days later. Seeing the two came here in person, Lin Haoyang didn't dare to neglect, and quickly said the original end of the matter, and then stood aside, waiting for the two to make a decision. After all, Lin Mengzhou is a second-tier top-grade formation master, and the spirit-gathering formation here is also his layout. He knows more about the deep pool than Lin Mengchun. Soon, Lin Mengzhou's desk hand arranged a second-order inferior formation Xuanshui True Thunder Array. This formation is not powerful, but it can release lightning. As long as the thunder and lightning are used to stimulate the deep pool, the demonic beasts inside must be hidden. Can't help running out. Lin Haoyang also thinks this method is very good. Soon Lin Mengzhou began to arrange the formation. The magic talisman was suspended in the air, forming a formation, and then a thunder and lightning of the thickness of a thumb suddenly blasted into the deep pool. The moment thunder and lightning hit the surface of the pool water vibrated and made a big wave. Even the spiritual qi in the air was somewhat ascending, which was obviously caused by the evaporation of spiritual water. Puff! Suddenly with a soft sound, a 5-foot-long fish demonic beasts broke out of the water, covered with red scales and 2 very long whiskers, but its strength was not a second-order low grade, and the threat was not very big. It's just hiding in the depths of the deep pool all day long, and it's hard for people to discover it. Seeing this fish, Lin Mengge was overjoyed and immediately said, Rainbow trout sea bream is very fresh, and the price of an adult rainbow trout sea bream is around 15 spirit stones. After Lin Mengge said this, Lin Haoyang finally thought of this kind of fish, but this kind of fish is very rare, and he didn't expect to meet him here today. Seeing this, Lin Mengzhou stopped the formation in his hand to avoid hurting the rainbow trout snapper. Lin Mengge said with joy, I just don't know how many rainbow trout sea breams are, and whether they can reproduce. If they can, this will provide a lot of income for the family. The rainbow trout snapper can mature in 4 years, and it is 3 feet into the fish. This fish is more than 5 feet old. It seems that it is not young. If it is only 1, it is impossible to steal nearly 5 cents of the Ling rice overnight. Lin Haoyang discussed with Lin Mengge and Lin Mengzhou, and decided to bring some spiritual rice from home, and Lin Haoyang would feed them daily to see how many rainbow trout snappers are in this deep pool. After the matter was processed, Lin Mengzhou and Lin Mengge did not stay much, and soon Lin Haoyang was left in Yanggu again. 1%. Chapter 3 Completing the Jade Fault. It was 10 days after the spiritual rice was transported from the family, a total of 150 caddies of spiritual rice, which was more than the output of the last acre of spiritual rice. Lin Haoyang didn't know how to lure the rainbow trout snapper, so he could only sprinkle some Ling rice on the surface of the deep pool, sprinkling 20 caddies at a time. 20 caddies of Ling Mi went down, and suddenly a small half of the water was covered with Ling Mi. After that, Lin Haoyang withdrew to the side. Otherwise, because of the timid nature of rainbow trout sea bream, Lin Haoyang guarded him and did not dare to come out. After waiting for almost half an hour, there were 4 or 5 red fish swimming in the deep pool, constantly experimenting. In the end, unable to withstand the lure of Ling Mi, the longest 5-foot rainbow trout snapped up to the surface and swallowed Ling Mi. Seeing that there was no danger, the other 4 rainbow trout snapper also surfaced to the surface and swallowed the Ling rice. Lin Haoyang, who was hiding from the side, saw this scene and was delighted. As long as there are more than 1 rainbow trout snapper, the Lin family can rely on cultivating and selling rainbow trout snapper as a source of income, and they have Ling rice to swallow. The number of these rainbow trout snapper can be further increased. Expand. When Lin Haoyang was observing these rainbow trout snappers in secret, a faint light suddenly flashed in the water, which immediately attracted Lin Haoyang's attention. Looking at it, the light came from the gills of a rainbow trout snapper, which was the size of a fingertip. When Lin Haoyang saw this white residual jade, his expression instantly changed. Lin Haoyang hurriedly took out the jade fault hidden in his chest, and saw that the residual jade on the gills of the rainbow trout sea bream and the missing part of the jade fault were exactly the same in shape, color, and material. Looking at the jade fault in his hand, Lin Haoyang's heart was beating very fast, and he was very excited. For so many years, he had known that the white jade fault was a great treasure, but because of its incompleteness, the power was not present, but even so, it has brought him over the years great benefit. Although Lin Haoyang was excited, he did not forget to act lightly. Because of the timid nature of rainbow trout snappers, Lin Haoyang appeared rashly. These rainbow trout snappers would definitely dive under the water. To escape in an underground river, the gain is not worth the loss. Out of this consideration, Lin Haoyang suppressed the excitement in his heart. What he has to do now is to domesticate these rainbow trout snappers so that they are no longer afraid of people. 20 caddies of ling rice. It took half an hour for the 5 rainbow trout snappers to eat, and after playing on the water for a while, the 5 rainbow trout snappers dived back to the bottom. For the next 6 months, Lin Haoyang continued to feed Ling Mi once a month. After 6 months of feeding, these rainbow trout snappers finally no longer fear Lin Haoyang. When Lin Haoyang walks to the edge of the deep pool, there will be rainbow trout sea bream surfaced to please Lin Haoyang. What's more, Lin Haoyang was happy that the longest 5-foot rainbow trout snapper was pregnant, and he was afraid that some more rainbow trout snappers would hatch in a few months. Half a month ago, Lin Haoyang's cultivation finally had a breakthrough, from the 5th level of Ningmei to the 6th level. This is already very slow. If he cultivates in the family, Lin Haoyang can advance a few months. Today, it was time to feed the rainbow trout snapper again. Lin Haoyang decided to retrieve the incomplete part of yolk today and let it make up. He has been waiting for half a year on this day. As in the past, Lin Haoyang came to the deep pool. In order to feed and observe the rainbow trout snapper, Lin Haoyang built a bamboo building 5 or 6 meters deep into the deep pool. Before arriving at the bamboo building, Lin Haoyang took out 20 caddies of ling rice from the storage bag and slowly poured it into the deep pool. After smelling the breath of ling rice, 5 rainbow trout snappers immediately emerged from the deep pool and began to devour the ling rice. As soon as Lin Haoyang's eyes moved, he found the rainbow trout snapper with residual jade stuck on its cheeks. This rainbow trout snapper was about 4 feet tall and only slightly smaller than the pregnant head fish. After half a year of feeding, even Lin Haoyang stood still. On the side, they are not afraid at all. This time, Lin Haoyang didn't spread the ling rice very widely, and it was almost in front of him, so the rainbow trout snapper was only 1 meter away from it. Lin Haoyang took his breath, and when the rainbow trout snapper swallowed the ling rice, Lin Haoyang violently jump on the back of rainbow trout snapper. The scales of the rainbow trout snapper are not very hard, but they are very beautiful. Sometimes people use them to make beautiful scales. The other 4 rainbow trout snappers were taken aback by Lin Haoyang's sudden movements and dived underwater. This line under Lin Haoyang is a frantic struggle. Even if Lin Haoyang breaks through to the 6th level of the coagulation veins, it is somewhat difficult to resist. In order not to be thrown off the back of the rainbow trout snapper, Lin Haoyang embraced the rainbow trout snapper with both feet and hands, but because the rainbow trout snapper body was slippery, Lin Haoyang just barely got thrown off. Seeing Lin Haoyang for a while, the rainbow trout sea bream began to sink underwater. For a while, Lin Haoyang swallowed a few mouthfuls of the pool water. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang could only kill this one if he couldn't get the residual jade for a while. Rainbow trout sea bream, the nest of fish, was frightened at that time, fearing that it would never come out again, and the family would lose a financial source for nothing. Thinking of this, Lin Haoyang hated him, grabbed the fins, and slammed the rainbow trout snapper suddenly, then turned the head of the fish and came towards him. The rainbow trout snapper was thrown by this force, but it didn't happen for a while. Struggling, Lin Haoyang found an opportunity, quickly shot, and grabbed the remnant jade stuck on the gills. Lin Haoyang broke through the water, touched his face, and happily picked up this remnant jade, and after a closer look, Lin Haoyang was sure that this was part of Yuke's loss. Out of the water, Luo Suyang went straight to the temporary immortal cave on the North Mountain. He wanted to see what the jade fault was. As for the rainbow trout snapper in the deep pool, he was only slightly frightened. Lin Haoyang did not walk long before he came out to devour the spiritual rice. Now, this source of financial resources can be considered as preserved. After returning to Immortal Cave in Beishan, Lin Haoyang immediately took out Jade K. When he met UK, remnant jade immediately felt instinctive, restless in Lin Haoyang's hand, shaking constantly, trying to escape Lin Haoyang's palm. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang just smiled, let go of his clenched palm, and let the remnant jade fly towards Yuke. Under the traction of Yuke, the remnant jade tumbling a few times, they met with Yuke, and with a soft sound, the white jade fault and the remnant jade merged into one, and there was not even the slightest gap between them. Jade K made up for the remaining jade and finally became complete. Lin Haoyang could actually feel the joy of Jade K exuding. Lin Haoyang has been with Yuke for many years, and Yuke has already recognized the Lord. At this moment, Lin Haoyang feels that Yuke is extraordinary and must not let the second person know about it. Just when Lin Haoyang wanted to put away the jade fault, a flash of light suddenly poured into Lin Haoyang's mind. At this moment, in Lin Haoyang's mind, there is a scripture, the Buddha Xuanzhen. Seeing this scripture, Lin Haoyang's heart was shocked, because the power of this scripture cultivation technique is too amazing. According to the description of the scripture, it can cultivation to immortal ascension. According to Lin Haoyang, the highest cultivation base is also, however, in Hedao realm, there is still a big realm gap from immortal ascension. After a while, the spiritual light dissipated and Lin Haoyang returned to normal, but he was still immersed in shock at the moment. According to the scriptures, as long as Lin Haoyang cultivates the first level of the Buddha's profound reality technique, Lin Haoyang can go straight to the foundation building bottleneck and does not use ordinary people's breakthrough foundation building Dan. The biggest problem with Lin Haoyang's cultivation now is that the family cannot provide him with foundation building Dan. Without foundation building Dan, if foundation building is forced to die, it would be a life of 9 deaths, and the probability of foundation building success is only 1/30. In addition to the profound art of the Buddha, there was also a refining technique that came into Lin Haoyang's mind, together a magical weapon, and some of the refining techniques and finished products in it made Lin Haoyang amazed again and again. 1%. Chapter 4 Lin Bai's Marriage. Chapter 4 Marriage of Bai Qingyan. A year and a half passed quietly. It has been 3 years since Lin Haoyang came to Yanggu, and the 1 mu of yellow rice grass planted that year has matured. Lin Haoyang counted and found that 47 plants of this acre of yellow spartina survived. The survival rate was pretty good, reaching 80%, without wasting Lin Haoyang's careful care. Lin Haoyang carefully cut the yellow rice grass, then packed it in a jade box, and waited for someone from the family to bring it back to practice medicine pill. In the past year and a half, Lin Haoyang's spirit power cultivation has not slackened, and it has reached the peak of the 6th level of condensing veins. As long as the Wei nationality exchanges a rejuvenating pill of growth cultivation base, he can break through the 7th level of condensing veins. Lin Haoyang is not worried about the growth of cultivation base. But Lin Haoyang still failed to get started with the cultivation of the profound realm of the Buddha. The profound realm of the Buddha was obscure and difficult to understand. Lin Haoyang estimated that it would take at least 10 years before the first level was cultivated even with Jade K in his hands. It is difficult to cultivation the profound art of the Buddha. Lin Haoyang turned his focus to the magical weapon, but Lin Haoyang stayed in Lian Valley and lacked the material and the real fire for the refinement. Although there is a magic method in his hand, it is difficult to cook without the rice. Therefore, Lin Haoyang decided to go back to the clan first, get some refining materials and real fire, and exchange for a rejuvenating pill by the way. Therefore, Lin Haoyang sent a sound transmission note to pass back the thing that he wanted to take a break. 5 days later, the person sent by the family to replace Lin Haoyang has arrived. The person here is the cultivator Lin Shufeng. Lin Shufeng and Lin Haoyang's father had a lot of friendship, and Lin Haoyang took care of him when he was a few years old. Lin Haoyang and Lin Shufeng talked about the old things for a while, and then told Lin Shufeng about the things that should be paid attention to in Lian Valley, and only then rushed back to Lin's family with 47 yellow spartina. Back at Lin's White Elephant Mountain, Lin Haoyang first contacted Lin Mengchun to cross 47 yellow rice grass, and briefly talked about the situation of Liangu. As for the refining of yellow rice grass into medicine pill, this is not what Lin Haoyang cares about. Lin Haoyang went to exchange for another rejuvenating pill, and then went straight to where his grandfather Lin Xuancheng was. Lin Xuancheng is a second-tier top-grade refiner. Lin Haoyang wants to learn to refine. Lin Xuancheng can give Lin Haoyang a lot of suggestions and pointers. After all, Lin Xuancheng is a tier 2 high-grade refiner, and after some instruction, Lin Haoyang feels like he is stunned, and his refining technique is straight up. However, Lin Xuancheng was even more surprised. As long as he mentioned many things, Lin Haoyang could understand, and some of Lin Haoyang's questions made it difficult for him to answer. According to his many years of experience, although Lin Haoyang has not refined a spirit weapon yet, his refinement level has definitely reached the second-tier low grade. Suddenly, Lin Xuancheng was overjoyed, and felt that the Lin family had a great talent, even if it was impossible for a breakthrough fourth-order refiner in the future. After the grandfather and grandson had finished communicating, Lin Xuancheng took Lin Haoyang's hand and said solemnly, Haoyang. In the few years you were away, a major event happened at home. Wan Hongfeng's patriarch came to the house once. He decided to marry his daughter Bai Qingyan with our Lin family. And the person recommended by the patriarch is you. The patriarch confessed that he will let you go to him once you come back. Quote. After listening, Lin Haoyang was shocked. He hadn't been in the clan in the past few years, and there was an extra fiancé. Although he had never seen Bai Qingyan, he still heard of some genius reputations. Lin Haoyang chatted with Lin Manga for a while, and then went straight to the place of the Haoshan patriarch closed-door training. The Long Lin Qianlong of the Lin family was the only foundation-building cultivator who survived the fight against demonic beasts 100 years ago. Achieved foundation building at the age of 47, and even the second spiritual roots cultivator. It was supposed to be a smooth road, but he was injured 20 years ago and has been recovering in Haoshan for so long. Lin Haoyang found the bamboo building where the patriarch of Haoshan lived. Lin Haoyang did not come here many times. He was summoned every time. When he arrived at the bamboo building, Lin Haoyang shouted into the bamboo building. Lin Haoyang, descendant of the 9th generation, pay homage to the patriarch. It's Haoyang. I've been waiting for you for a long time, come in. Lin Haoyang felt loose in his heart and raised his leg into the bamboo building. The layout of the bamboo building is simple but elegant, and it is very suitable for self-cultivation. Lin Qianlong was sitting next to a pool and feeding a group of koi. When he saw Lin Haoyang coming in, he got up and said, "You already know about the Bai family. Where did you hear from Grandpa just now?" Lin Haoyang stood aside and said, "Any thoughts? Haoyang can have today's achievements. All depends on family training, but I have never seen Bai Qingyan. If I become a Dao companion, I am afraid that I will be a little anxious." Oh, Lin Qianlong let out a long sigh, with a worried expression on his face, and said, "The land reclamation season once in 5,000 years is about to begin, and the Ma and Lu families have also adopted a marriage alliance. The Ma family and the Lu family were originally stronger than the Lin Bai family. If we do not take any measures, I am afraid that our family will not have much advantage in this wasteland reclamation season. I'm afraid I will even save it." Quote. After listening, Lin Haoyang's complexion changed. The importance of the wasteland reclamation season is that all the sects and families of the 4th Avenue attach great importance to it. If the Lin family does not have enough strength under this wave, I am afraid that he will be buried in this wave. At this moment, Lin Haoyang already knew that this marriage was a transaction between the two. After thinking about it again and again, Lin Haoyang said, "Haoyang, just agree." Listening to this, Lin Qianlong smiled and comforted. "Hey, don't look like you are losing. I heard that Bai Qingyan is not only very talented, but also very beautiful. In the past 100 years, my strength has not only recovered, but also improved a lot. You don't have to be afraid of the old Bai family. I will support you. You only need to get Bai Qingyan. The old man and I will set the wedding date at the 9th level of your veins, ascension strength as soon as possible." Quote. After speaking, Lin Haoyang withdrew from the bamboo building and shook his head helplessly. After leaving the back mountain, Lin Haoyang exchanged some refining materials and went straight back to Lian Valley. 5 days later, Lin Haoyang returned to Lian Valley, exchanged for Lin Shufeng, and checked Lingtian and rainbow trout snapper. Seeing that there was no problem, Lin Haoyang returned to Immortal Cave on the North Mountain. Among the immortal arts, the refining technique can also be ranked in the top 5. Although it is not as good as the formation division and the pill refining division, it is also extremely important. A good magical item often determines the success or failure of the fighting technique. Lin Haoyang already has a second-tier white scale sword in his hand, so this time Lin Haoyang is going to refine a defensive magical item, so that he can be a little more safe in the battle. However, before refining the magical item, Lin Haoyang first swallowed the rejuvenating pill, and the magic power successfully broke through the 7 layers of coagulation veins. Lin Haoyang is only 19 years old, and he already has a cultivation base with 7 layers of condensed veins. Almost 100 years ago, he led the family to attack the 4th generation ancestor and cultivator of the 4th rank family, Zhang Yuandao. Had it not been for the demonic beasts, in order to save the Lin family, 1 golden core and 3 foundation buildings were killed in battle. I am afraid that the Lin family is now the 4th rank family. It took another day to adjust the status before Lin Haoyang began to refine the magical item. The magical solution said, "A device is built by nature. It is pregnant by someone. It is built by someone. Things that are born pregnant by the earth, called Shantian tools, are often extremely powerful, Haodian people build things with their heart and shape with things, and they are often changeable. Quote. Lin Haoyang felt that his crafting was also a kind of creation, and he could also have extraordinary achievements. For example, the sacred artifact of the human race, the bronze sword, was the foundation for the human race to gain a foothold. After thinking about this, Lin Haoyang suddenly felt that his Tao heart was masterful and peaceful, which was a rare good condition for refining tools. Lin Haoyang immediately took out the real fire, found a place in a mortal cave and set it up, then took out the materials and started refining. What Lin Haoyang wants to refine is a second-tier inferior magical item. Mysterious armor shield. The main material is the back armor of a second-tier inferior demonic beast's mysterious tortoise, plus several fine irons and ores. As the real fire merged with the Lian Valley ground vein and connected to the spirit vein, the real fire took root there. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang immediately took out the black turtle's carapace and put it into the real fire. Lin Haoyang immediately used the technique of refining the magic weapon and knowing how to solve it. The left hand controls the fire, the right hand controls, yin and yang deploys. Soon, the back armor of the mysterious tortoise slowly deformed in Luo Suyang's hands, and with the addition of pieces of refining materials, it finally turned into a shield, the mysterious shield. Seeing that he had cultivated a second-tier low-grade profound armor shield for the first time, Lin Haoyang was delighted and frightened secretly. However, after some refining, Lin Haoyang also spent nearly 4 hours. The spirit power in his body has been exhausted, and there is still a piece of material in his hand, which can only be refined next time. 1%. Chapter 5 Demonic Beast strayed into Lian Valley. Lin Haoyang had rested for 3 days since the last time he made a profound armor shield before adjusting himself to a perfect state again. However, at the last moment of refining the profound armor shield, there was an accident. A group of demonic beasts suddenly broke into the Lian Valley. Lin Haoyang worried about the spiritual field and ended the refining early. Lin Haoyang's refining device was interrupted. Worrying and angry, he rushed out of a mortal cave and went straight to the group of demonic beasts that had broken into the valley. What broke in was a group of white-spotted gray wolves. The leading wolf king was a second-order mid-grade demonic beasts, and the other dozen were mostly first-order demonic beasts. The strength of this group of demonic beasts is no longer weak. With Lin Haoyang's current cultivation base on the 7th floor, it is no problem to deal with the wolf king, but with a group of tier 1 wolf monsters, Lin Haoyang is not sure of winning. Lin Haoyang first informed the clan that Lian Valley was attacked by demonic beasts with a sound transmission. He was afraid that these demonic beasts were more than one. The wolves entered from the valley mouth of the western mountain peaks. Among them, several white-spotted gray wolves were still injured, and their fur was stained with blood. Lin Haoyang did not rush out, and when he was surrounded by the wolves, it would be difficult for him to get out. Lin Haoyang rushed to the spiritual field first, where there is a gathering of spirit formations, and the wolves must not be destroyed. In addition, over the years, the Lin family has arranged a second-tier defensive formation here, and Lin Haoyang is still a little certain to rely on the formation to guard the spiritual field. Just when Lin Haoyang rushed to the Lingtian, the group of white-spotted gray wolves also rushed in from Taniguchi, but they did not attack immediately but kept hovering outside the formation. The formation arranged by the Lin family is called the Dry Wood Water Dragon Array, which mainly relies on the rich spiritual chi of the wood in the spiritual field, and cooperates with the spirit power of the water in the deep pool to launch the water cannon. As long as the spirit power is enough, the power of the water cannon is no less than that of the condensed vein early. The stage is full blow. Seeing that the white-spotted gray wolves did not attack, Lin Haoyang was not in a hurry. He always felt that this matter was a bit weird. He had also traveled all around Liyungu over the years, and did not find the white-spotted gray wolves. This group of white-spotted gray wolves must have migrated from a distance, or escaped from elsewhere. Thinking of this, Lin Haoyang was shocked. The white-spotted gray wolf's individual combat power is not outstanding, but it is a kind of gregarious demonic beasts, and ordinary demonic beasts dare not provoke them. If any demonic beasts forced them to run away, there must be some powerful demonic beasts. If that were the case, it would be beyond the scope of Lin Haoyang's solution. Looking at the panoply of the white-spotted gray wolves, Lin Haoyang felt that his own guess was almost always true. The white-spotted gray wolf circled around the dry wood water dragon formation and did not attack. I wonder if it feels unsure to break through the formation, or there is nothing in the spirit field that can arouse their interest. After staying for a while, the group of white-spotted gray wolves headed straight for Beishan, looking as if they wanted Beishan to be their territory. Lin Haoyang watched this scene in the formation, couldn't help but smile, but he couldn't beat it, and he didn't let his mind go, and he was afraid that demonic beasts who would drive the white-spotted gray wolf would appear. Therefore, Lin Haoyang stayed in the spiritual field for 5 days, until the reinforcements sent by the family rushed forward, and then he let out a sigh of relief. A total of 5 people were sent to the family, led by Lin Haoyang's 7th uncle, Elder Lin Mengwei, a 9-tiered Mencius, and 4 cultivators, Lin Xuanhua, Lin Xuanjun, Lin Xuanjing, and Lin Xuanlu. Seeing 5 people, Lin Haoyang opened the defensive formation and greeted everyone in. Lin Haoyang had been urging the formation for 5 days, and his body was exhausted. Lin Mengwei breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that the Lingtian had not been lost, and Lin Haoyang was fine. Innocence is a spiritual field, or Lin Haoyang is extremely important to the Lin family, and no loss is forbidden, Lin Mengwei said. Haoyang, what about the white-spotted gray wolves you are talking about? Lin Haoyang looked bitter and said. The group of white-spotted gray wolves didn't attack the Lingtian after entering the valley, but stopped a little bit, and went straight to the basin where I live. Ha, Haoyang is really lucky, the white-spotted gray wolf just grabbed your immortal cave. Aside, Lin Xuanjing covered her mouth and smiled. Grandma 13th, don't laugh at me anymore. Let's find a way to get rid of the group of white-spotted gray wolves. And I think this group of white-spotted gray wolves were driven here by some more powerful demonic beasts. Lin Haoyang said. After hearing Lin Haoyang's words, everyone frowned, and wanted to expel the white-spotted gray wolf, whose strength was at least a 2nd-tier top grade. After some discussion, everyone decided to solve the white-spotted gray wolf on the North Mountain first, so as not to prevent Lin Haoyang from having a home and not being able to return. After planning, the 6 Lin Haoyang went straight to the North Mountain. Lin Mengwei was there and a group of condensed veins were added to the late stage. In less than half an hour, they killed all these white-spotted gray wolves. Lin Haoyang had less experience, but also used the white phosphorus sword to kill 2 first-order white-spotted gray wolves. After regaining Immortal Cave, Lin Haoyang spent 20 spirit stones begging for the wolf's teeth. Among the magical solutions, there is a magical item that is cast from the teeth of the wolf demon. After cleaning up the white-spotted wolf demon and leaving the materials, the flesh and blood of the first-order white-spotted gray wolf is not very useful, all of which is left to Lin Haoyang, and Lin Haoyang's life quality can also be greatly improved in the next few days. Uncle Kitai, I think I still have to patrol the surroundings. With that demonic beasts there, I don't think it is safe to leave Yanggu. Lin Haoyang worried. Lin Mengwei frowned and said, I saw these white-spotted gray wolves in the east of Yanggu a few years ago. At that time, I was still weak, so I didn't provoke them. I didn't expect to meet them after so many years. Hearing this, Lin Haoyang was overjoyed and said, It shouldn't be too late. Uncle Kitai should take us to see wherever we go, saying that we can get rid of it as soon as possible, and we can rest assured as soon as possible. Good. After that, Lin Haoyang and the 6 went straight to the east of Lian Valley. After 5 or 6 hours, the sky was dark for 400 to 500 miles, but fortunately, they finally found the white-spotted gray wolf den that Lin Mengwei said. As soon as they arrived here, the complexions of several people changed drastically, and the white-spotted gray wolf's den was under a cliff. However, there were more than a dozen corpses of white-spotted gray wolves lying around under the cliff. Several of them died extremely tragically, their heads and abdomen separated, and the ground was bloody. It seems that there is indeed some powerful demonic beasts who robbed the white-spotted gray wolf's lair, and there was a big fight, and then some surviving white-spotted gray wolves fled to Lian Valley. Lin Xuanjing said. Everyone nodded and agreed with Lin Xuanjing's guess. The most important thing now is to figure out what demonic beasts occupy the den of the white-spotted gray wolf. After some discussion, Lin Haoyang and the others decided to take a closer look. Several people took out their magical items one after another. Lin Haoyang didn't dare to neglect and took out the profound armor shield and the white phosphorus sword. Lin Haoyang had insufficient combat experience, so he stood relatively back, protected by a few people. Everyone approached the gray wolf lair step by step, and when there was still 100 meters away from the entrance of the cave, a tiger roar came from the cave. Roar. Immediately afterwards, a brown tiger jumped out, opening his blood basin and mouthing at the crowd. However, there was a foot-long wound on the tiger's back. Apparently, this tiger demonic beast was also seriously injured while occupying the white-spotted gray wolf's lair. 3rd tier low grade, Yan brown tiger. You are careful, Lin Mengwei said with a heavy voice when he saw this. 1%. Chapter 6 Flame Brown Tiger. Lin Haoyang and the 5 others were shocked when they heard that the Yan brown tiger turned out to be a tier 3 demonic beast, and then they did not dare to be careless. The Yan brown tiger has been injured and its strength has greatly diminished. I and Xuanjun will be in a team of 2, and Zan Jing, Zan Lu, and Hao Yang will be in a team of 3 of you, holding 2 directions respectively and teaming up to take down the Yan brown tiger. Lin Mengwei said. Everyone nodded. It is better to do 2 things compared to 1 place. Lin Haoyang attacked to the right and Lin Mengwei attacked to the left. Sure enough, Lin Haoyang and the others were divided into 2 branches. The Yan brown tiger looked embarrassed and swayed left and right. As long as it attacked one side, the other side could take it. Lin Haoyang sacrificed his own mysterious armor shield in the front. Lin Xuanlu, the tallest cultivation base, also sacrificed a defensive magical item, Huang Yunzhang. Lin Xuanjing's ancestors were all mortals, and her family was not enough. She didn't have a defensive magical item. She only had a 2nd-tier medium-grade fish intestine dagger, which was also sacrificed at this moment, suspended on one side, ready to attack at any time. Yan Zonggu stepped back a few steps, and when he was about to reach the entrance of the cave, he refused to take a step back. Tier 3 demonic beasts have no beast pill, but they have also cultivated a talented supernatural power. The natural supernatural power of the Yantan tiger is to summon a flame, which can burn gold and stone. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang was puzzled. Is this Yan brown tiger guarding something? If it is said that it is really guarding something, the Yan brown tiger will definitely defend it desperately. If this happens, there will definitely be casualties. But at this moment, Lin Mengwei couldn't bear it. Relying on Lin Xuanlu's hand with a 2nd-tier high-grade defense magical item, he rushed up with the wide-eared long knife in his hand. On the side, Lin Xuanlu was holding a shield-shaped magical item and guarding it, and rushed up. Lin Haoyang gave a bad cry, but now the arrow is already on the string and has to be sent. Go, let's go up too. Lin Xuanjing shouted, and the 3 of them rushed up. When the Yan brown tiger saw someone coming, he threw a paw on Lin Xuanlu's shield. The tiger-like demonic beast was born with great power. Suddenly, he staggered and shot Lin Xuanlu away. Lin Mengwei was also carrying a wide-eared long knife and headed straight to the bottom plate of the Yan brown tiger, with a biting knife energy, trying to break the Yan brown tiger's stomach. After all, Yan Zonggu is tier 3 demonic beasts. Although not very intelligent, he has very strong reaction ability. At the time of life and death, he twisted his body and slapped Lin Mengwei with his claws. Lin Mengwei's complexion changed. He thought that his own trick would surely make a contribution, but he didn't expect it to put himself in a dangerous situation. Lin Haoyang was in a hurry, ignoring himself, urging Fei Yunbu, and at the moment of his death, he took a profound armor shield to stand in front of Lin Mengwei. Boom. With a soft sound, the mysterious shield is only a 2nd-order lower-grade magical item after all. After a single click, the aura dims and the spiritual chi is greatly damaged. However, with the few breaths that Lin Haoyang was fighting for, Lin Xuanjing's fish gut dagger, accidentally piercing the Yan brown tiger's right eye, Lin Xuanlu's Huang Yunzhang also stood up. At this time, Lin Mengwei gasped and slashed once again on the Yan brown tiger. Lin Haoyang was relieved. The white phosphorus sword in his hand was also facing the Yan brown tiger, facing the siege of 6 people, even the lower-grade Yan Tan. The brown tiger has also been injured continuously, especially since it was already seriously injured. However, within a quarter of an hour, the Yan brown tiger died in the hands of the 6 people. However, the flames of the Yan brown tiger's mortal life broke Lin Chunjun's 2nd-tier top-grade magical item, causing Lin Xuanjun to suffer serious injuries. In a few years, the cultivation will not be good. After slashing Yan Zonggu, everyone quickly cleared up the materials on Yan Zong's body. The skin of the Yan brown tiger can be used to make tier 3 charms. The claws and teeth can be used to make magical items. The flesh and bones of a body can be worth a lot of spirit stones. In total, how can it be worth 1,100 spirit stones around? But this time, Lin Haoyang and the others also lost 3 defensive magical items, and Lin Chunjun was seriously injured. Coupled with the rewards of this mission, they finally made some money. Uncle Chi, I just saw the Yan brown tiger retreating to the entrance of the cave, so I refused to take a step back. There must be something in this cave, Lin Haoyang said. When Lin Haoyang said so, everyone felt a little strange that if it hadn't been for Yan brown tiger's swearing to the death, Lin Mengwei would not be in danger. Okay, let's go in and take a look. The injured Lin Xuanjun stayed outside the cave, and the 5 Lin Haoyang walked into the cave. There is a second-order lower-grade spiritual vein in the immortal cave of the white-spotted gray wolf, but the surrounding resources are scarce and the terrain is steep, which is not suitable for opening spiritual fields, so Lin Haoyang and the others did not want to occupy here. Woo! The sudden cry of milk attracted everyone's attention. Lin Haoyang had guessed that the Yan brown tiger might give birth to cubs. He hadn't retreated before to protect the cubs. When he heard the call of milk, Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. Going around a huge boulder, I found 2 juvenile burnt brown tigers lying on the haystack. Everyone was overjoyed. This is demonic beasts who can advance to tier 3. If it grows up, it would be no less than training 2 foundation building masters for sect. The cub of the Yan brown tiger was found, and everyone did not dare to stop, and hurriedly took the cub back to Baixiang Mountain. The demonic beast's invasion problem was solved, and Lin Haoyang returned to Lian Valley and continued to take care of the Lingtian. Afterwards, the family also rewarded 100 spirit stones for discovering the cubs of the burnt brown tiger. Time flies, and another year has passed. This is the 4th year that Lin Haoyang has left Yanggu. The cultivation base has also reached the late stage of the 7th stage, and within half a year, he will be able to enter the 8th stage. Moreover, with the help of the materials used in the last hunting of the flame brown tiger, Lin Haoyang's craftsmanship finally broke through the 2nd tier middle grade. In the family, Lin Manga is now a little bit stronger than Lin Haoyang. However, the cultivation of Futu Xuanzhenju is still the same. In less than 10 years, he will not be able to cultivate, unless he has some heaven-defying opportunities. Just when Lin Haoyang was in a trance, a sound transmission talisman came, and the patriarch Lin Ganlong summoned Lin Haoyang to go back. The family would send someone to replace Lin Haoyang, and some people would take care of the rainbow trout. After waiting for 5 days, the person who succeeded Lin Haoyang finally came. It was Lin Xuanzhen who had seen him before. Because of his injuries, he could only do some easy work of guarding the medicine field. After explaining the matter, Lin Haoyang hurried back without stopping. Inside the bamboo house in the back mountain of the Lin family, Lin Qianlong stood on the main seat, and the 8 elders of the 9th level Mencius came to 5, the backbone of the family, the Xuanzi generation cultivator, except for some older Shuzi generation and Haozi generation cultivators, who now have tasks. The family, the backbone, is here, close to 80 people. I'm calling you all to say that our Qinjiang County Trade Fair is held every 5 years, and our 4 families in Lin, Beima and Lu, Qinjiang County, rotate every 5 years. This time it happens to be Wan Hongfeng's Bai family. Now that we have formed an alliance with others, we have to show something. Meng Chun first talk about what's in the house, Lin Ganlong said. As soon as these words came out, Lin Mengchun, who was in charge of general chores, said one by one. Although our Lin family's strength has been greatly reduced over the past century, we still have some accumulation over the years. Counting the 15 acres of spiritual land away from Yanggu, we also have close to 60 acres of spiritual land, as well as the special red mulberry silk from Baixiang Mountain. Some magical items refined by the 4th brother, Huang Gudan refined by the 5th sister using yellow rice grass. We still have some things we can take out. Quote. Hearing Lin Mengchun sorting out the financial resources of the family one by one, Lin Haoyang suddenly felt that the life of the Lin family was very bitter. There was not much property at all, and the financial resources were not much, but he still had to support 150 people in the family. Everyone probably knows that this time we are calling you to make good preparations. In less than 50 years, the new wasteland reclamation season will begin. We must summon our strength so that our Lin family can survive this wave. Quote. As soon as they heard the wasteland reclamation season, everyone began to talk quietly, and it seemed that the bamboo building had also begun to noisy. Lin Qianlong was a little impatient, so he sent everyone away, leaving Lin Haoyang behind. Haoyang, this time Wan Hongfeng buys trade fair, I am going to let you go and see your future daughter-in-law. Lin Qianlong smiled. Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. He originally felt a little bored in Liangu, but he just wanted to go out and gain insights, so he readily agreed. Finally, when Lin Haoyang was about to leave, Lin Qianlong gave Lin Haoyang a 3rd-order high-grade magic talisman. 1%. Chapter 7 Attack on the Road. The trade meeting was held 2 months later, and it took 10 days before the Lin family prepared the materials that needed to be prepared. There are a total of 3 carriages, all of which are drawn by the green zebra horse drawn by the Lin family. The green zebra is a spirit beast cultivated by the Lin family in the past 20 years. Although it is only a first-level top grade, its foot strength is 3,000 kilograms, which is faster than the early-stage cultivator. It's a little faster. The supplies to the trade fair this time are equivalent to nearly a year's output of the Lin family, and even rainbow trout snappers have taken out 7. So this time, the Lin family sent a total of 12 cultivators to escort him. Among them, the highest cultivation base was Lin Mengwei, who went to Lian Valley to eradicate the wolf demon last time. In addition to Lin Mengwei, Lin Haoyang also saw some familiar people, such as the 13th aunt's grandmother Lin Xuanjing. This time I went to the Bai family's cultivator. There were a total of 9 coagulation veins, 6 coagulation late stages, and 5 coagulation middle stages. Among them, there was also a third-order inferior formation teacher, Lin Xuanjia, who cooperated with a third-order formation teacher. The foundation building cultivator is coming, and they can compete with it. The two families of Balin were 20 days away from each other. Under the leadership of Lin Mengwei, everyone set off for the east. There are 3 carriages, the first 4 are held by Lin Mengwei, the third is guarded by Lin Haoyang, Lin Xuanjing, and Lin Xuanjia, and the last 5 are held by the 3 middle stage and 2 late stage. In this way, both end and end, Lin Xuanjia can also be protected. After walking for 10 days, most people are looking for some remote wilderness to travel. Except for some demonic beasts, they rarely encounter human cultivator. However, because the wasteland reclamation season is approaching, Xinjiang County has indeed brought many outsiders recently, including not only rogue cultivators but also family members. Finally, after 15 days in Lin Haoyang, they finally ran into trouble. The Lin's motorcade crossed a mountain ridge and met 3 rogue cultivators, 1 foundation building early stage, 1 condensing veins for 7 floors, 1 condensing veins for 8 floors, and 3 people. When I saw the Lin's motorcade, I assumed the foundation building cultivation base and felt bad in my heart. Rogue cultivators have no family dependence. All spiritual resources must be worked hard on their own. In many cases, they put their heads on their waistbands. Why? The 3 want to do it. We are a family under the control of Qingyunzong. We dare to do it against us. Are we not afraid of the pursuit of Qingxuanzong? Lin Mengwei saw that the 3 wanted to do it, so he shouted. Sure enough, when Lin Mengwei moved out of Qingyunzong, the complexion of foundation building rogue cultivators led by foundation building rogue cultivators also changed a bit, but soon a crazy look appeared on his face, saying, "Haha, the wasteland reclamation season is coming soon, and a large number of human cultivators will also come in. At that time, the Azure Cloud sect will not have so much energy to take care of us. Moreover, the Terran cultivator and demonic beasts battle for millions of miles, and we go anywhere as if water drips into the sea. Can Qingyunzong still find us?" Quote. After listening, Lin Mengwei looked a little ugly, as the foundation building rogue cultivators said, as long as they want to escape, Qingyunzong can't help them. In this case, there is only one battle. Lin Mengwei drew out his own wide-eared long knife, and the others also sacrificed their own magical item and waited. Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanjing hurriedly guarded Lin Xuanjia in order to avoid being tricked. Boom! The foundation building rogue cultivators launched an offense, but Lin Mengwei led the 3 middle stage cultivators to block him, but he was also forced to retreat a few steps. At the same time, the other 2 rogue cultivators saw that there were 5 cultivators in the car behind, and they were very difficult to get, so they rushed to the 3 people in the car. As long as they can hold them for a while, the foundation building rogue cultivators will be able to make achievements. The situation will immediately reverse. But as soon as they approached CRRC, they were stopped by Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanjing. At this time, Lin Xuanjia was finally ready to form, cooperated with the 3 cultivators of the car behind, and went straight to the car in front to besiege the foundation building rogue cultivators. However, Lin Haoyang also had a foundation building middle stage here to help. In an instant, the balance of war began to tilt. These 3 rogue cultivators couldn't think of how incomprehensible there would be a tier 3 formation master hidden in them. You must know that, as long as you give enough time, the tier 3 formation master can live and die the foundation building cultivator. Fighting with Li Haoyang is a rogue cultivators with 7 layers of condensing veins, but Lin Haoyang's cultivation spirit power is much stronger than ordinary condensing cultivators. Even with 9 layers of condensing veins, the spirit power is not stronger than Lin Haoyang. On a lot. Coupled with a helper of the middle stage of the veins, the 7-layer rogue cultivators quickly couldn't support it, and eventually died on Lin Haoyang's pair of tiger claw flying blades. After receiving the storage bags of rogue cultivators, Lin Haoyang and the two went straight to Lin Xuanjing's battlefield. Lin Xuanjing and the two had originally suppressed the rogue cultivators on the 8th floor of the condensed vein. Once Lin Haoyang and the two joined the battle, the rogue cultivators were exhausted and Lin Xuanjing found a chance, cut his throat with a fish gut dagger, killing him. In the distance, the foundation building cultivator is now trapped by Lin Xuanjia's trapped dragon-bound spirit array. Seeing two rogue cultivators dying so fast, they are also split in their livers and gallbladders. They can't give birth to a heart to fight again. Want to escape. The foundation building cultivator is more powerful after all. In the end, before Lin Haoyang and the others arrived, they used the blood shield secret method to break through the formation and quickly escaped. However, taking advantage of the chaos, Lin Mengwei also cut off an arm, no longer a threat. However, in this battle, there were still two middle-stage cultivators who had broken the veins, and needed 1 or 2 years of training to recover. Lin Haoyang opened the storage bag of rogue cultivators. Except for a second-rank mid-rank spiritual weapon, there were only a dozen spirit stones and some useless bottles and jars, which was almost clean. Soon, everyone set off again, but this time they did not encounter the rogue cultivators who were not long-sighted, and finally rushed to Wan Hongfeng Bai's house 23 days after the departure. Wanong Peak, the main peak of the Bai family, is a 2,000-meter high mountain surrounded on 3 sides by green trees and bamboos on one side. There is white fog during the day, and there is a hint of fairy family. Lin Haoyang came here for the first time. It's not bad. When everyone entered Wan Hongfa Peak, Lin Mengwei immediately issued a sound transmission note to inform the Lin family cultivator to arrive. After a while, a group of Bai family cultivators drove out. The leader was a cultivator with 9 layers of veins Bai Changsheng. Ha ha ha, Brother Mengwei, I didn't expect that even Brother Xuanjia would come together at this trade fair. What a rare visitor. Bai Changsheng smiled. Ha ha, if Zanja didn't come together this time, we're afraid we won't be able to see you, Brother Chang Sheng. Lin Mengwei said in a low voice. Seeing this, Bai Changsheng immediately noticed something was wrong, and after a closer examination, he realized that foundation building rogue cultivators were ambushed on the road, and even the Lin family's team was ambushed. The Lu family and the Ma family may not be spared either. However, compared with the Lin family, the Lu and Ma family have a profound family background. Foundation building cultivators will be used at every trade fair. Rogue cultivators generally dare not match up. Brother Meng Wei, you have advanced to our house. The Golden Core Elder of Qingyan sect has arrived. I will talk to him at this time first, and then I will have a long wine talk with you. Without saying more, Bai Changsheng arranged for the Bai family's children to entertain everyone. He left first, but gave Lin Haoyang a meaningful look before leaving. Soon, Lin Haoyang and his entourage settled down under the arrangement of the Bai family. It was about a month before the trade fair. During this period, cultivators kept coming, even from places outside Qinjiang County. Soon, the number of cultivators gathered in the Bai's house increased sharply. There were more than 30 people in the foundation building cultivator alone. If it weren't for the Golden Core Elder of the Qingyan sect, the Bai family would not be able to survive this kind of scene. It was the first time for Lin Haoyang to come to the Bai family. Although he had a marriage contract with Bai Qingyan from the Bai family, it was still only a message spread between the two high-level officials. Therefore, Lin Haoyang was not disturbed much here, except that he was summoned by the Bai family once in the middle of the journey. After a brief chat, he was obviously satisfied with Lin Haoyang's cultivation to the 7th level of the spirit vessel at the age of 21. However, Lin Haoyang didn't see Bai Qingyan. I heard that Bai Qingyan had joined the Qingyan sect and was in closed-door training at the moment. He would not rush back until the start of the trade fair. The two families of Lu and Ma are far apart, but they arrived 5 days before the start of the trade fair. With the care of Qingyunzong Golden Core Elder, there is no rogue cultivators who dare to touch this brow anymore. There was no problem on the road. 1%. Chapter 8 Trading Conference starts. Because Qinjiang County is located on the edge of the human race and the demonic beasts, it has been harassed by the demonic beasts all the year round. Therefore, the trade fair of the 4 major families is very precious. Many rogue cultivators will take this opportunity to replenish resources and purchase magical items and medicine pill to equip themselves. The trade fair lasts for 10 days. The first 8 days are the time for the 4 major families and the Shushan family in the surrounding area to sell supplies, and the last 2 days are the auction time held by Qingyan sect leader. The last 2 days that Qingyun sect leader held were the hottest, because the Qingyun sect always took a treasure to hold the field, and at this time the atmosphere of the trade fair would also reach its peak. As the sun rises eastward, Lin Haoyang also walked out of the own room. Over the past month, he used the vast resources of the trade fair to successfully refine 2 second-tier middle-grade magical items, and 1 defensive magical item Baiyun Wall. Attack magical item 9 section Snake Whip. Today is the first day of the trading conference. The Lin family also has 2 shops here, one is managed by Lin Mengwei, and the other is handed over to Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanjing. Moreover, the rainbow trout bream raised by Lin Haoyang is also sold here. Haoyang, I'll go out first, and I'll replace you later. After that, Lin Xuanjing left the shop. The trade fair is once every 5 years. For the cultivator, it is a good opportunity to gain insight. Lin Xuanjing is an elder of the Xuanzi generation, plus she is less than 35 years old and is a woman. Lin Haoyang didn't take it seriously, shook her head and bowed her head. Look after rainbow trout snapper. Soon, Lin Haoyang welcomed his first visitor, with a broad nose and a broad nose. Cultivation base condensed his veins on the 9th floor. After sweeping around, he finally saw the white cloud wall placed in a corner. His eyes lit up and he immediately pointed to the white cloud wall, asked, "How can I sell this magical item?" Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. He didn't expect that the magical item he refined would be attracted by people at a glance, and he immediately fetched Baiyunbi. Lin Haoyang's cultivation of magical items is incomprehensible, and the technique of refining is incomparably exquisite. Although Baiyunbi has only the second-tier middle grade, the refinement is extremely exquisite, and it is already inferior to the second-tier top-grade magical item. The visitors also liked it tightly. After some bargaining, they finally sold 230 spirit stones. Excluding the cost, Lin Haoyang earned about 40 spirit stones, which is equivalent to the annual salary of more than half a year in the clan. After that, some people came to buy some magical items in Huang Gudan, and even the rainbow trout snapper sold 3, and Lin Haoyang refined another magical item, the 9-section snake whip. Actually, this magical item is not good, but most cultivators like flying sword magical items, and those who like whip magical items are only a few. Just as Lin Haoyang was frowning, a tall girl with short hair walked in and walked around the store, and finally saw the ninja snake whip in one corner, and was overjoyed immediately, saying, "Fortunately, it is still there. As expected by Dage, it is indeed a boutique store. How do you sell this magical item?" Lin Haoyang was overjoyed for a moment when he saw that someone came at the 9-section snake whip, and immediately said, "This is a fine product I made. It is called the 9-section snake whip. It is a good second-tier middle-grade work and sells for 200 spirit stones." The girl seemed to really like the 9-section snake whip, and what Lin Haoyang said was true, and the offer was fair. Without counter-offering, she directly gave 2 medium-grade spirit stones. Lin Haoyang was shocked and guessed in his heart that this woman must come from a certain sector family, otherwise she wouldn't be the middle-grade spirit stones. Although 100 ordinary spirit stones are equivalent to 1 medium-grade spirit stones, 100 spirit stones can be exchanged for less than 1 medium-grade spirit stones, at least about 103. In other words, Lin Haoyang earned 6 spirit stones for nothing. "Huh, you said this magical item was made by you." The girl was about to step out, but suddenly turned around and asked. "Yes," Lin Haoyang said. "Then, can I ask you to refine magical item?" The girl's eyes showed some expectation. Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. Someone asked him to refine the magical item. This is of course a good thing. It can make money and use the ascension technique. His grandfather is only a second-tier top grade. The big reason is that there is no high-rank material for him to refine. "My name is Lin Haoyang, a disciple of the Lin family of Baixiangshan. You can find me if you need it." "Okay, my name is Su Ling I will find you if I need it in the future." After speaking, the girl disappeared into the street. Lin Haoyang overturned the 2 middle-grade spirit stones in his hand, earned nearly 30 spirit stones, put them in the storage bag, and Lin Haoyang entered into a boring shop-seeing mode. 2 hours later, Lin Xuanjing rushed back with unfinished talent and replaced Lin Haoyang. Walking out of the shop, greeted Lin Mengwei on the side, and then walked around. The venue of this trade fair is not too big. There are a total of more than 20 shops. In addition to the 4 shops in Qingyang County and Qingyunzong, the other 5 shops are rented out. In only 10 days, a shop will cost 50 spirit stones. In addition to these shops, many rogue cultivators set up stalls to exchange resources and sell idle items in their hands. Lin Haoyang started by looking at the stall. There were demonic beasts materials, medicine pill, cultivation technique, magical item and so on. Lin Haoyang was dizzy to see, but because of his embarrassment, Lin Haoyang could only take a look. After a lap, he still fancied an unknown scale, which happened to have happened to him on the refining device. The stall owner is a middle-aged rogue cultivator. This time the stall is also trying to clean up the collection of these years, so as to exchange for some magical items that are in hand from spirit stones. Lin Haoyang took the scales in his hand and played with it. The feeling of starting with it was similar to pig iron, but this made Lin Haoyang more certain that this thing was right, but few people knew it. Fellow Taoist has good eyesight. This is the scale of the third-tier middle-grade demonic beasts. If you add some materials, you can refine a third-tier middle-grade defensive magical item. If it is not for my urgent need of spirit stones, I will not shoot. Now as long as you 400 spirit stones, you can take it away. The middle-aged said with a pity. Lin Haoyang's face was calm, the corners of his mouth laughed mockingly, and he said, "Hey, a third-order low-grade sunglasses fish scale, although it is a piece of the heart protector, but a sunglasses fish can also produce more than 10, and the value is only 50 spirit stones. Don't say much about fellow Taoist deceit. If fellow Taoist doesn't buy it, just leave it to someone who is destined." Quote. After that, Lin Haoyang got up and was about to leave. The middle-aged cultivator was in a hurry. He was in urgent need of spirit stones. Seeing Lin Haoyang, he revealed the origin of the scales. Panicked in his heart, he suddenly lost his sense of measure. After struggling a little, he stopped Lin Haoyang, and finally sold him to Lin Haoyang for 50 spirit stones. Lin Haoyang put away the scales, and left without hurries, but the flowers bloomed in his heart. Where is this third-order inferior sunglasses and fish flakes? This is obviously a Tier 3 top-grade Jiaolong heart-protecting phosphorus. Although it is not comparable to the most precious inverse phosphorus, it is also worth about 300 spirit stones. This time, Lin Haoyang earned more than 200 spirit stones in vain. But this is also the credit of the magic weapon. Unless you are very familiar with demonic beasts, who will recognize this as a third-tier top-grade heart protector. The middle-aged cultivator took this thing for a long time, but it only regarded it as an ordinary thing. This is an opportunity and cannot be forced. After that, Lin Haoyang turned around again, but, without such good luck, each of these rogue cultivators had sharp eyes. As for the other shops, Lin Haoyang didn't go. He didn't have anything necessary now, he kept spirit stones, and he wanted to increase his knowledge at the auction. Soon, Lin Haoyang lost interest in these paving shops outside, and the things were uneven, the eyesight was not good, and he was easily deceived. Time passed quickly, and the trade fair was on the last day, and the Lin's shop was almost sold. There was not a single rainbow trout sea bream left. Because there was no business in the shop, Lin Haoyang was also happy. However, the news of the return of Bai Qingyan, the eldest daughter of the Bai family, from Qingyan sect caused a wave of disturbance in Lin Haoyang's heart. 2%. Chapter 9 First Seeing. The marriage contract between Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan is the inevitable result of the two companies uniting and moving toward a deeper level of cooperation, and it is also a means that the two want to preserve in the trend of the wasteland season. Not only the Lin Bai family, but even the more powerful Lu and Ma family also chose a marriage alliance. Not only Qingjong County, but also the entire Yuyunzhou and Taipingdao. The wasteland reclamation season is a wave related to the fate of the human race. If anyone wants to be alone, he will eventually turn into a pile of bones in this wave. The millions of miles of the human race smashed in the past 20,000 years, I don't know how many human cultivators have been ruined. Lin Haoyang knew that Bai Qingyan had returned to the Bai family yesterday, so the patriarch of the Bai family would definitely be summoned to him again. Sure enough, at noon on the 8th day of the trade fair, the patriarch of the Bai family heard a sound transmission note, wanting Lin Haoyang to come and meet. Among the Lin family and his party, only Lin Mengwei knew about this. Although Lin Xuanjing had guesses, she was not sure. When Lin Haoyang left, Lin Mengwei came to him and told Lin Haoyang that no matter how the marriage between the two families was a good and a major event, the primary focus was on the overall situation of land reclamation, but at the same time, the reputation of the Lin family should not be lost. Not dare to neglect, Lin Haoyang went straight to the home of Bai Zonkang, the head of the Bai family. Because he had been summoned once before, Lin Haoyang was a familiar road. However, this time it was a lot more eye-catching than last time, because the Bai family had already informed the whole family about the marriage of the two families. Bai Zonkang's small building was already very lively. 7 elders from the 11th floor of the Bai family came to the scene. Except for the old patriarch who had been practicing closed-door training, almost all the important figures of the Bai family were present. When Lin Haoyang saw such a scene, he couldn't help but his heart tensed, and then smiled bitterly. Is this trying to scare him? But Lin Haoyang hadn't seen this kind of battle before. Wasn't it like that during a family meeting? What made Lin Haoyang sigh was that the strength of the Bai family was still slightly stronger than that of the Lin family. Lin Haoyang was neither overbearing nor overbearing, and came to the front of the hall with courtesy all the way, and saw Bai Zonkang sitting in the main seat, followed by 7 elders who condensed the veins in 9 layers, and then gave the family backbone. But what attracted Lin Haoyang's attention most was the young girl beside Bai Zonfang, with blue silk, white clothes, fair skin, and naturally outstanding appearance. She is only 22 years old, but her cultivation base is already 9 layers of condensed veins, but it seems that it has just been broken through, and the foundation is not solid, and it will take several years to polish it. This girl is naturally white. The daughter of Bai Qingyan. The two met for the first time, and they knew the marriage relationship between the two. Bai Qingyan's face suddenly flushed, and she lowered her head and dared not look at Lin Haoyang again. Lin Haoyang is not so shy, and she is also happy to see Bai Qingyan. With such a woman as a companion, she is not alone on the road to Shushan. I have seen Patriarch Bai. Lin Haoyang said in courtesy. Bai Zonkang nodded. He had summoned Lin Haoyang once before, and felt that this Sun Bufan, although the cultivation base had only condensed the 7th level of his veins, he was also advancing quickly. If Bai Qingyan hadn't been for the strong support of her family and the support of her master at sect, she might not be as good as Lin Haoyang. After the 2 foundation buildings, Bai Qingyan might not be comparable. Haoyang, I'm calling you here this time. First, Yun'er just returned from Qingyunzong yesterday. Since you two have a marriage contract, you should meet. This is the second one. Elder has never seen you at home, so let them take advantage of this trade meeting to see what you can do. Bai Zonkang said. Lin Haoyang nodded and said yes, this test of son-in-law is also right, and his spirit power is not much weaker than these 9-layered elder. After speaking, a gray-haired old man stood up and said, My nephew Haoyang, old man Bai Qiandong, can you ask for advice? Lin Haoyang saw Bai Qiandong's 9th floor cultivation base, and it was reasonable to try to test himself. He immediately bowed his head and said, Please. Bai Qiandong smiled, and the two did not go out. Bai Qiandong raised his palm with one hand, and immediately gathered spirit power all over his palm. Then he slapped Lin Haoyang with a palm. It was a fairly satisfactory palm, and it was not a coincidence at all, and it was not a bullying Lin Haoyang. Seeing this palm, Lin Haoyang was overjoyed. If he really wanted to fight, Lin Haoyang might not be the opponent of the 9th level of condensing veins. He was not afraid of just competing with spirit power. But Lin Haoyang did not dare to slack off, immediately ran the spirit power of his whole body, and greeted him with a palm. However, Lin Haoyang's spirit power was mixed with strands of black silk. It was the special spirit power that Lin Haoyang had cultivated over the years through the Buddha's cultivation. Boom! The 2 spirit powers collided suddenly, the imaginary crush did not appear, the spirit power dispersed, and the 2 retreated 3 steps each. Everyone in the Bai family has incredible colors on their faces, evenly matched. Bai Qiandong was on the 9th floor of the condensed veins, and compared with Lin Haoyang, who was on the 7th level of the condensed veins, he failed to take the slightest peak in spirit power. Bai Qiandong's face was a little uncontrollable. He immediately accepted spirit power and stopped making any moves. Lin Haoyang also stopped, respectfully saying, Thank you senior for being merciful. Bai Qiandong's expression eased a lot. He knew that this was Lin Haoyang giving him the steps, and it was quite pleasing to see Lin Haoyang. But no one dared to look down upon Lin Haoyang. Even Bai Qingyan covered her small mouth with surprise on her face. Ha ha ha, he is indeed a young talent. It seems that the Lin family is a successor. I will not worry if I marry Qingyan to you. Bai Zonkang smiled, raised his hand, and a 3rd-tier mid-rank defensive charm appeared in his hand. This 3rd-tier mid-level defensive charm will be given to you. Lin Haoyang hurriedly caught it. Only then did Lin Haoyang understand what the patriarch Lin Qianlong meant to give him a tier 3 high-grade magic talisman when he left. Lin Haoyang flipped through his hand, and a pitch-black scale appeared in his hand. It was the 3rd-order high-grade Jiaolong heart-protecting phosphorus that he had collected a few days ago. This is a 3rd-tier high-grade Jiaolong heart protector phosphorus. You can refine a good defensive magical item if you find some good materials, just give it to Qingyan. Lin Haoyang said. With a smile on his face, Bai Zonkang sucked Huxenline and took a look at it. Sure enough, Bufin's value was about the same as the third-tier high-grade defensive charm. Bai Zonkang smiled and handed it to Bai Qingyan, saying, Qingyan, people are very interested, accept it. Bai Qingyan hurriedly caught the scales and hugged them in her arms, but she did not dare to look at Lin Haoyang. She didn't know what was wrong, why it was so useless today. Okay, Qingyan, take Haoyang around at Bai's house and take a look at the scenery of our Wanong Peak. Let the others retreat, Bai Zonkang said. After that, Lin Haoyang wandered around Wanongfeng under the leadership of Bai Qingyan. The two of them did not have elder present. Instead, they relaxed a lot, talking and laughing along the way. Although the relationship has been established, the relationship still needs to be cultivated. Lin Haoyang did not return until sunset. After Lin Haoyang left, Bai Qingyan took out the protective heart phosphorus, and his face was reddish. Lin Haoyang returned to the residence and was questioned by the 13th aunt's grandmother Lin Xuanjing. Lin Haoyang couldn't resist the pressure and could only talk about it all. The two had already met, so there was no need to conceal the marriage between the two. Yes, I didn't expect my family Haoyang to be married. Lin Xuanjing teased with everyone, and then slowly left. Tomorrow is the auction held by Qingyan's sect leader, and everyone will go. Lin Haoyang's mind was full of Bai Qingyan's appearance, a little unable to sleep, so he could only get up and cultivate the floating Tushuan Zhenju, and then passed through cultivation overnight. 2%. Chapter 10 The Murder of the Auction. The next day, when the sun rose in the east, Lin Haoyang took the Buddha profound technique and waited for everyone to go to the auction together. Qingyunzong is located in the wild, and many resources are scarce. Only at auctions will some good things appear. At this time, everyone will rush to buy one or two. For example, in this trade fair, many foundation building cultivators are rushing towards this. Come. The auction was held on a circular outdoor platform with seats arranged around it. Because of their marriage, the Lin family also grabbed some front seats. Lin Haoyang looked up and saw Bai Qingyan sitting next to Bai Zonkang. Bai Qingyan seemed to have an aura of heart. She turned to Lin Haoyang and smiled mischievously. The two looked at each other. Lin Haoyang was secretly delighted. Participants in the auction are all ranked according to the cultivation base, with nearly 30 foundation building cultivators leaning in the front row, and others in turn. Fellow Taoist, our Qingyunzong holds an auction every 5 years. Thank you for your care in recent years. Qingyunzong's golden core elder Zhou Zunyuan was polite with everyone. Then I sat down slowly, and then another foundation building middle stage cultivator from Qingyunzong came and began to preside over the auction. The first lot, the third order inferior defense magical item Flowing Clouds 1000 Chance Umbrella, low price of 800 spirit stones, and the price increase shall not be less than 100 spirit stones. 900, 1000. The third tier mid-level defense magical item is more expensive than the same rank attack magical item. The final transaction price was 1,300 spirit stones, which was taken by a female foundation building middle stage cultivator. Lin Haoyang watched from the sidelines, feeling helpless. None of these things he could afford to buy now. Next one, Jin Cheatin. At the end of the day, Lin Haoyang felt that his own vision greatly increased, and, while he still had more than 200 spirit stones in his hand, Lin Haoyang also spent 120 spirit stones to get a green spirit fruit. The green spirit fruit can help the cultivator ascension cultivation base. A green spirit fruit is equivalent to 2 years of hard cultivation. With this green spirit fruit, Lin Haoyang is sure to attack the 8th layer of vein condensing. As the sun sets, today's auction will come to an end. Some cultivators are happy because they have purchased a satisfactory magical item, and some cultivators regret that they missed it and not enough spirit stones. Lin Haoyang and his group returned to their residence after they dispersed. At the same time, in a remote hut, 4 foundation building cultivators gathered and were plotting a major event. Often fellow Taoist, there is news that the last thing Qingyunzong brought out this time is the foundation building Dan. Is this news accurate? A middle-aged cultivator said. It should be accurate. This is the news from my uncle in Qingyan sect. In order to find out this news, he paid a huge price. Chongping Zhao said. The middle-aged cultivator looked happy and finally let go. The middle-aged cultivator's name is Wu Fengyu, a rogue cultivators, and it happened many years ago that foundation building succeeded by chance. insufficient qualifications, can only stop at the foundation building middle stage, but his son is indeed the second spiritual roots cultivator, qualification Bufin. In order to help his son win the foundation building Dan, he spent 30 years accumulating spirit stones, which is enough, because he is a rogue cultivator and there is no way to obtain the foundation building Dan. The one at the Qingyunzong auction now was his only chance, so he asked for help, found 2 friends, and even went to the suburbs of Changping. If the foundation building Dan cannot be auctioned this time, of course he would not dare to do anything to the Golden Core Elder of the Azure Cloud sect, but those who photograph the foundation building Dan may have an accident on the road. Soon, the last day of the auction arrived. Today, most people are coming for the last treasure, so the previous auction items are not very popular. 2 hours later, there is only the last item left, and the atmosphere of the auction has finally reached its peak. At this time, Qingyunzong's foundation building cultivator retreated, and Golden Core Elder Zhou Zunyuan, who had been sitting on the side, got up and walked forward, saying, "The auction has also reached the end, and now there is only the last lot left. Everyone knows that the wasteland reclamation season is coming soon. The high-rank magical items, and spirit pills are very popular. But I think that this thing today will definitely not disappoint everyone." After that, Zhou Zunyuan took out a square wooden box from his carry-on storage bag. As soon as the wooden box appeared, Wu Fengyu's heart loosened, and then it was more ecstasy. He now has a few years of life. In less than 20 years, he has only 10,000 spirit stones on hand, in order to win his son a foundation building Dan. Hey, some people have guessed it, yes, this is the foundation building Dan. After saying that, Zhou Zunyuan opened the wooden box, and a round, golden, egg-sized foundation building Dan was lying in the box. As soon as the foundation building Dan came out, the scene immediately became hot, and the atmosphere became a little uncontrollable. Lin Haoyang secretly swallowed while watching the foundation building Dan. If the Lin family can get a foundation building Dan, the family situation can also be greatly improved. However, with the current strength of the family, it is simply unable to exchange for the foundation building Dan. At this moment, he drank lightly, and was suppressed by the spirit power of the Golden Core period. Under the suppression of the spirit power, Lin Haoyang's pulse condensing cultivators trembled in both their legs, and their spine became cold. The foundation building also calmed down, but the heat in their eyes did not subside. "Everyone, let's put it in a safe auction. Since we dare to take it out, of course we can hold it. This foundation building Dan. 9,000 spirit stones start auction, and the price increase shall not be less than 100 spirit stones each time." As soon as Zhou Zunyuan's voice fell, foundation building cultivator started bidding. 9,001, 9,005, 11,000 spirit stones. It was Wu Fengyu who reported 11,000 spirit stones. This was already the highest amount he could report. This was the result of his smashing the pot and selling the iron and piecing it together. If one more person raises the price, he can do nothing. The price of a foundation building Dan is only 10,000 spirit stones, but auctions like this kind of auction will definitely be at a premium. After Wu Fengyu reported 10,000 spirit stones, the audience fell silent. At this moment, Wu Fengyu's heart was even more disturbed. 11,200 spirit stones. A voice broke the silence. Wu Fengyu's heart suddenly jumped, and then there were blue veins everywhere, staring viciously at the person who just quoted, he really couldn't get another spirit stones. Therefore, if he wants foundation building Dan, he can only kill people and win treasures. There is no higher price than 112,000 spirit stones in the audience. The one who took the picture of this foundation building is the Shushan family in the next county, 1 for 3 foundation buildings. For this foundation building Dan, they also emptied the family's decades of accumulation, and sent 2 foundation building cultivators from the family to come. As the foundation building Dan has belonged, the auction will also come to an end, and Lin Haoyang has gained a lot of insights. After bidding farewell to the Bai family, Lin Haoyang and his party immediately set off to return to the Lin family. All the materials they brought were replaced with spirit stones. There were no less than 3,000 spirit stones in total. These spirit stones must not be lost. So Lin Haoyang and the others more careful. Because of Qingyunzong's warning, Zhou Zunyuan also took action to solve 2 unruly foundation building rogue cultivators. Few people dared to take action against the 4 cultivators in Xinjiang County. However, when Lin Haoyang and the others were halfway through, they still ran into trouble, and it was still a big trouble. In front of Lin Haoyang, there were 2 pairs of people and 5 foundation building cultivators. It was Wu Fengyu who made the shot. He summoned 2 foundation building friends and paid a huge price. Only then did they invite them to accompany him and kill and purchase the foundation building. Dan's 2 other cultivators. After a big battle, what Wu Fengyu didn't expect was that these 2 men were both in the middle stage of foundation building. They were powerful and the magical item was excellent. All of a sudden, Wu Fengyu and the 3 were defeated. In the end, Wu Fengyu reluctantly took out a Tier 3 top-grade magic talisman before beheading one person, leaving one person, taking advantage of the chaos and taking the foundation building Dan to escape. This scene happened to be met by Lin Haoyang and the others. If Lin Haoyang and the others filed a lawsuit against Qingyunzong, they would face endless pursuits. Wu Fengyu gritted his teeth and decided to let the 2 friends solve Lin Haoyang and others, while he himself went to chase and kill the escaped. 2%. Chapter 11. Soon, the 2 foundation building cultivators came straight to Lin Haoyang and the others. Lin Haoyang was shocked. He did not expect that when he came back, he would encounter murder and treasure, and it happened to be met by them. Forcing people to kill. Hooray! Following Lin Menghui's roar, the 12 members of the Lin family surrounded Lin Xuanjia and laid a third-order formation. At the same time, Lin Menghui immediately used a third-order low-grade sound-transmitting talisman to tell the Lin family chief. Generally speaking, if they are just facing a foundation building cultivator, they are not afraid at all, but now there are 2 foundation building cultivators, they are not opponents anyway, they can only hope for the rescue of the family. The 2 foundation building rogue cultivators were equally surprised when everyone saw Lin Haoyang release a third-order formation. There are a total of 12 condensing cultivators in the formation. If you want to break the formation, it is not something you can do in a short time. They can only continue to harden and exhaust Lin Haoyang and their spirit power, so that the formation will not break itself. One of the 2 foundation building rogue cultivators took out a golden flying sword and the other took out an ancient bronze lamp. For a while, flying sword hit the formation with the flames of the ancient lamp, and the defensive array immediately became turbulent. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang touched his own storage bag, which also contained a Tier 3 high-grade attack charm that Lin Qianlong gave him, and a Tier 3 mid-grade defense charm that Bai Zonkang gave him. Although the third-order high-grade magic talisman is powerful, it cannot directly kill a foundation-building cultivator. Only by using them to kill the formation and consume a large amount of spirit power, then it is surprisingly difficult to obtain the result of the battle. Lin Haoyang remained silent, so as not to be noticed by the 2 outsiders. 2 hours later, someone in the formation started to be unable to hold it, and as their spirit power withdrew, the third-order formation became unstable. They can't hold it anymore. They must fight quickly, and I don't have much spirit power left. Yi said. Good. After the 2 discussed, they both broke out the strongest blow. The golden flying sword slashed its head, and the third-order formation was on the verge of collapse. The blue light flame that followed directly blasted through the formation light curtain and came straight to Lin Haoyang and the others. The expressions of Lin Xuanjing and others changed drastically. Now that their spirit power is exhausted, they are powerless in the face of the foundation building cultivator's attack. Swish, wish. Just when the blue lantern flame was about to fall, Lin Haoyang sacrificed 2 Tier 3 magic talisman without hesitation. The third-tier mid-tier defensive charms lifted into the air, and immediately turned into a tortoise-shaped light curtain, blocking most of the flames, but there were still 2 cultivators of the mysterious character who were outside the charms and were submerged by the blue flames, and died immediately. At the same time, another Tier 3 high-grade attack talisman turned into a flying sword talisman, slashing straight towards the weaker blue light robe cultivators in the cultivation base. Lin Haoyang has a good grasp of the timing of his shot. Cyan Dang rogue cultivators controlled the Cyan Dang magical item for a long time, and at the same time encouraged all spirit power to launch the final blow. There was not much spirit power left in the body. Faced with this sudden flying spell, Flying Sword had no time to stop, so he was cut into 2 stages. After killing the Green Lantern rogue cultivators, Flying Sword faded a lot, but he went all the way to another rogue cultivators. Another rogue cultivators is stronger, and has a little time for the green light rogue cultivators to use his life. He hurriedly released his own third-tier mid-level defense magical item. Boom! With a loud noise, the flying sword slashed on the shield-shaped defensive magical item. The flying sword finally couldn't support it, turned into a little bit of starlight, and disappeared into the air. However, the shield magical item is also dim, and obviously the damage is not light. At this moment, rogue cultivators are also uncomfortable. The sharp collision has caused serious damage to his internal organs, and now it is only a strong crush. Now he has some regrets. He shouldn't have come out with Wu Fengyu to kill people and obtain treasures because of a moment of greed. He now has little strength left. If he forces the flying sword to be able to kill everyone, but he doesn't want to take any risks. If everyone still has a magic talisman in their hands, he will be buried here today. Flying sword rogue cultivators didn't dare to bet, and after receiving the golden flying sword, he ran away and did not dare to stay. Moreover, he decided to escape from the scope of the Azure Cloud sect, to cultivate in the rear, and never come back. Seeing this person fleeing, Lin Haoyang finally gave a sigh of relief, but a trace of sadness rose in his heart, and the two cultivators of the Xuanzi generation still fell here. Lin Haoyang put away the ancient bronze lamp that had fallen on the ground, and then rushed to the corpse of the foundation building cultivator that had been cut into 2 sections, and removed its storage bag. Only then did everyone leave with a dull look. Lin Mengwei, Lin Xuanjing, and others thought they were dead. Faced with the siege of the 2 foundation building cultivators, they all felt weak and could not wait for the support of the family. But no one thought that Lin Haoyang could turn the tide at this time. Lin Mengwei guessed that the 2 magic charms must be the protector of the way left by the patriarch Lin Qianlong. Fortunately, the patriarch had a vision. A day later, everyone met the patriarch who came to support and saw that everyone was safe. They breathed a sigh of relief. Although they had lost 2 members of the Xuanzi generation, fortunately, most of them were fine. Afterwards, a group of people rushed back to the forest home in Baixiang Mountain. The family set up a burial mound for the 2 cultivators, and at the same time gave out generous pensions. The younger generations of the 2 cultivators can also cultivate safely. After returning, the Lin family immediately sent a letter to Qingyunzong. After searching, they could not find the murderer. Presumably Wu Fengyu and others had already escaped. However, there was news that the Shushan family who bought the foundation building Dan, and the 2 foundation buildings. The cultivator failed to return. In the back mountain of the Lin family, Lin Haoyang found the patriarch, took out the captured bronze ancient lamp with the storage bag, and said, "Patriarch, this is the seizure of the foundation building rogue cultivators beheaded this time, please accept it." After all, to be able to kill foundation building rogue cultivators this time, it still depends on the patriarch's tier 3 high-grade magic talisman. Lin Qianlong raised his hand and took the storage bag into his hand. Using the method of urging, Lin Qianlong quickly broke through the divine sense restrictions left by the foundation building rogue cultivators. When he opened it, he found that there were 3,000 spirit stones, a 3rd order inferior defensive magical item, and a 3rd order inferior pill. Recipes, after all, are things of little value. Even Lin Qianlong, who is not very optimistic, was taken aback. He didn't expect a rogue cultivators to be so rich. It turned out that Wu Fengyu, in order to invite this foundation building friend, directly gave the benefits of 2,000 spirit stones, plus the 1,000 spirit stones that the original rogue cultivators had brought together to participate in the auction. But these benefits now belong to the Lin family. With a stroke of his hand, Lin Qianlong took out 500 spirit stones and gave it to Lin Haoyang. He also gave the 3rd order magical item bronze ancient lamp to Lin Haoyang. Seeing that Lin Haoyang wanted to decline, Lin Qianlong immediately said, "I'm giving you a 3rd tier high-grade magic talisman, too. Since you have spent a 3rd tier high-grade dragon heart protection phosphorus, it won't let you suffer. If you accept these things, it will be regarded as the family's compensation and cultivation for you, but the rest can't be given to you. The family life has been very tight in recent years, and with these spirit stones, I can finally live a little better." Quote. At this point, Lin Haoyang did not shirk anymore. He would always keep in mind the cultivation of the family. After that, Lin Haoyang returned to his grandfather Lin Xuancheng and swallowed the green spirit fruit in Lin Xuancheng's house. The cultivation base successfully broke through the 8th level of condensing veins. At this age of cultivation to the 8th level of condensing veins, he has almost caught up with the cultivation speed of the different spiritual roots cultivator. Lin Haoyang didn't return to Lian Valley for the time being. Where there is Lin Xuanzhen, there is no big problem. Lin Haoyang has tasted the sweetness of refining spirit tools. Taking advantage of the spirit stones in his hand, Lin Haoyang wants to ascension first. Qi level. But the family can't provide so many refining materials. He can only go to Qingyunzong. Qingyunzong will fight demonic beasts every year, and will get some demonic beasts materials from time to time. This was affirmed by his grandfather Lin Xuancheng. Lin Xuancheng himself did not have enough Tier 3 materials for him to refine, so his refining level stopped at the top grade of Tier 2. After the patriarch Lin Qianlong learned of the news, he wrote a letter personally, asking Lin Haoyang to take the letter and go to Qingyunzong to seek help from Lin Xuanlin, who had worshipped sect 10 years ago. 2%. Chapter 12. For Lin Xuanlin, Lin Haoyang had some impressions in his memory. It was the daughter of the second uncle Lin Mengji. Lin Mengji had a bad road. The cultivation base only had the second floor of the condensed veins. He died 10 years ago and left. However, Lin Mengji was originally considered young in Mencius's generation, and gave birth late, so although Lin Xuanlin was older, she was only a few years older than Lin Haoyang. Moreover, Lin Xuanlin is still the spiritual roots cultivator of Mizuki too. Lin Mengji knows that he cannot cultivate Lin Xuanlin, staying in the family and being helpless and difficult to develop. When Lin Xuanlin was 15 years old, he let him worship the Azure Cloud sect. 10 years. Lin Haoyang saw Lin Xuanlin several times when he was young, but after so many years, I don't know if Lin Xuanlin's personality has changed. Lin Haoyang rushed to Qingyunzong all the way to the southwest. Because of the shadow of the attack on the road to Baijia, Lin Haoyang didn't dare to take the big road. It took Lin Haoyang 2 months to reach Qingyunzong for the original 1.5 months. The Azure Cloud sect is located on a mountain range that is thousands of miles long, originally occupied by a Tier 5 demonic beasts. But 1,500 years ago, Qingyan Taoist, the founder of Qingyan sect, led his disciples to kill Tier 5 demonic beasts, and killed all the demonic beasts in the 10,000 miles mountains, and established Qingyan with this place as a stronghold. Zong. Qingyunzong has been inherited for more than 1,500 years. Currently, there are 1 nascent soul cultivator, 9 golden core cultivator, more than 100 foundation building cultivator, more than 4,000 cultivators, Shantian cultivator 20,000. The gate of the Qingshuanzong mountain is very magnificent, and the front door is also very prosperous. Because of the Qingshuanzong sake, a large number of cultivators have gathered, forming a market of thousands of cultivators in front of the mountain gate. At a glance, you can see many stalls selling demonic beasts materials. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang's eyes lit up, and he secretly said in his heart that he had come to the right place this time. However, Lin Haoyang did not go to the Fang City, but first looked for the notice in front of the Qingshuanzong mountain, and asked him to inform Lin Xuanlin for himself that he was here. The Qingshuanzong mountain gate is huge, and the disciples in the gate are relatively scattered. When Lin Xuanlin received the news, it was already 6 days later. In the past few days, Lin Haoyang did not dare to enter Fang City, because he was not familiar with this place and was easily deceived. Haoyang, haven't seen you for many years, you've grown up like this. Lin Xuanlin drove out in a hurry, and saw Lin Haoyang, surprised. Having not seen each other for 10 years, Lin Haoyang has also grown up, and the former, grandma, has also grown into a big and slim beauty. The two chatted for a while in front of the mountain gate, and Lin Xuanlin invited Lin Haoyang into own immortal cave. 10 years ago, Lin Xuanlin worshipped good luck under a foundation building cultivator and became a disciple of the Qingshuanzong inner sect. Otherwise, Guangping started from the outer sect disciple step by step. Under the heavy chores, it is difficult to get ahead. Lin Xuanlin's immortal cave was built on top of her master's third order inferior spirit veins. The spiritual qi was sufficient. Lin Xuanlin was still a little embarrassed to bring a man like Lin Haoyang to her boudoir, but the joy that her relatives had not seen for many years diminished and embarrassed. Talked for a long time. When the sun went down, Lin Haoyang handed the letter written by Lin Qianlong, the patriarch, to Lin Xuanlin. After reading it, Lin Xuanlin knew what Lin Haoyang came from. Haoyang, if you want a breakthrough bottleneck, you need a lot of spirit stones, you. After reading, Lin Xuanlin frowned. Lin Haoyang didn't hide it either, saying, I came out this time, with almost 700 spirit stones on me. If I practice magical item and sell some more, it should be enough. After listening, Lin Xuanlin shook her head and said, you want to break through the second-tier high-grade refiner, so the materials you buy must be second-tier top-grade. The second-tier top-grade demonic beasts are already quite boofin in strength, and the price is not low. In addition, your refining failed and wasted. At least 1,500 spirit stones should be prepared. After listening, Lin Haoyang was a big head. With so many spirit stones, where would he go to collect it? Tier 2 top grades are so difficult. The Tier 3 refiner is not more exaggerated. No wonder Lin Xuancheng has been stuck at Tier 2 top grade. Seeing Lin Haoyang looked miserable, Lin Xuanlin smiled and said, I have been doing handyman duties in sect over the years, and I have also saved some contribution points for missions. I can use contribution points to help redeem some materials. If it is not enough, then take your spirit stones to buy materials outside. It is not enough. I can also accompany you out to hunt demonic beasts. Anyway, the pile will make you break through. Quote. Lin Haoyang opened his mouth slightly and wanted to say something thankful, but he didn't know where to start, and finally said, After I break through the second-tier high-grade refiner, I will order some magical items for my grandmother. Lin Xuanlin smiled and said, The cultivation journey is often bumpy. If our family doesn't support each other, how can we go for a long time? Maybe I will ask you to help me refine magical item in the future. After that, the two chatted for a while, and Lin Haoyang also stayed in Lin Menglin's immortal cave. On the second day, the two went straight to Qingxuanzong's treasure pavilion, where they could exchange sect contribution points for refining materials, and the price was lower than that on the market. The treasure pavilion has a total of 5.5 floors. It is like a pagoda. The higher the number of floors, the better the level of things inside. Because the Lin family hasn't had a deep foundation in sect not long after they came to Qingyang County, all the children sent in are also talented. Cultivation base. Although Lin Xuanlin worships under the foundation building cultivator, she still has to perform sect missions. Cultivation base can only be broken into the 9th floor this year. Cultivation base still has room for growth. In a few years, Lin Xuanlin will also start working for the foundation. Building Dan is running around. Lin Xuanlin took Lin Haoyang directly to the 2nd floor of the treasure pavilion, where the second-tier treasures were stored. The two went straight to the area where the materials for the second-order demonic beasts were stored. Seeing the piles of materials, Lin Haoyang was dumbfounded, and felt in his heart that Qingyan sect is not the one who owns the 5th-rank sect of the nascent soul cultivator, which is really rich. Shaking his head, Lin Haoyang raised a bit of energy. This time he didn't have many spirit stones, and he didn't want to waste the contribution points of Lin Xuanlin. Therefore, Lin Haoyang had to choose the most confident materials for refining this time. Currently, there are 3 kinds of magical item on magical item that are suitable for Lin Haoyang's refining. The first is to defend magical item Guiyuan Tower, the second is to attack magical item Senkai Sword, and the third is to attack magical item Xuanian Bottle. These 3 magical items are all high-quality items in the second-tier top grade, especially the Senkai Sword, which is a complete set of flying swords. If the basic materials are good enough, there will be a chance to be promoted to the 3rd rank in the future. With the goal of refining, Lin Haoyang began to look for materials. After some searching, Lin Haoyang found 2 main materials. A second-tier high-grade Hao Jinshi is just used to refine the defense magical item Guiyuan Tower. A second-tier top-grade gold swallowing beast skull is just used to refine the Xuanian Bottle. As for the 3-talented sword that is the most difficult to refine, Lin Haoyang searched the second layer but couldn't find suitable materials, so Lin Haoyang only exchanged these 2 materials, plus some auxiliary materials, and spent a total of 500 contribution points. Equivalent to 500 spirit stones. Lin Xuanlin handed in contribution points. The two did not return to Immortal Cave, but rented an earth fire room, planning to use the earth fire inside to refine magical item. The earth fire in the earth fire room was drawn from the heart of the earth. It was much stronger than the real fire used by Lin Haoyang before. However, one day of renting the earth fire room requires a spirit stones. Lin Haoyang gritted his teeth and rented it for a month. The disciple guarding the earth fire room briefly introduced the usage of the earth fire furnace, and then retired. Lin Xuanlin also knew that the cultivator could not be disturbed, and after a few words of encouragement, she also retired. Not optimistic. 2%. Chapter 13. Tier 2 High-Rank Crafter. Lin Haoyang did not immediately start refining the magical item. Instead, he adjusted his breath and luck, adjusted his own spirit power to the best condition, and got familiar with the use of the earth fire furnace. After everything was ready, Lin Haoyang turned on the earth fire furnace. The first thing to refine is to attack the magical item Xuanian Bottle. The difficulty in refining it is to smelt the skull of the gold swallowing beast. The gold swallowing beast loves to swallow metal. As the gold swallowing beast continues to grow, its bones will gradually melt to gold, especially its skull, which is the strongest, and ordinary flames cannot be smelted at all. Therefore, Lin Haoyang chose to rent the earth fire furnace of Qingyunzong. Earth fire is drawn from the underground veins, and the temperature can reach 4,000 to 5,000 degrees. Sure enough, when Lin Haoyang had just thrown into the skull of the gold-swallowing beast, Lin Haoyang's face was reddened by the terrifying high temperature. In the face of the high temperature, Lin Haoyang used spiritual qi to transform into a bodyguard, protecting himself. Following the steps of the magic weapon, Lin Haoyang smelted step by step, and the skull of the gold-swallowing beast gradually melted and turned into a water bottle shape under the inspiration of Lin Haoyang's spiritual qi. With the input of the refining materials, the Xuanian bottle was about to take shape. At this moment, Lin Haoyang was sweating profusely, and there was not much spirit power left in his body, but the refining of the Xuanian bottle had reached the stage of the most critical setting device. Lin Haoyang was anxious, and the earth fire in his hand was temporarily unstable. The Zhanyan bottle was unstable and turned into a pool of molten iron. Looking at the terrible scene in the earth fire furnace, Lin Haoyang was very sorry, and then turned off the earth fire and began to meditate. Lin Haoyang spent a total of 8 days refining the Xuanian base. Although he did not succeed, he accumulated experience. He refined a little bit of fire control. After a day off, Lin Haoyang adjusted himself to the best condition again and began to refine Guiyuan Pagoda. The refining of Guiyuan Pagoda is similar to that of Xuanian bottle. This is why Lin Haoyang chose to refine these two magical items. Time passed quietly, and the 10th day had passed, and the refining of Guiyuan Pagoda had reached the critical stage of the condensing device. With the previous experience, Lin Haoyang appeared to be more confident. Although there was not much spirit power left in his body, his hand movements remained unchanged. The solidification and fixation were done in one go. Before the spiritual qi was exhausted, Lin Haoyang successfully practiced the Guiyuan Pagoda. Seeing Guiyuan Pagoda up and down in the earth fire furnace, a faint gleam was emitted. Lin Haoyang's face was happy, and it finally became. An hour later, Lin Haoyang walked out of the earth fire room. At this moment, Lin Haoyang was in a good mood. After only 500 spirit stones, he successfully advanced to the second-tier high-grade refiner. However, Guiyuan Pagoda still has some flaws. If Luo Suyang wants to improve his own refining power, he must invest a lot of spirit stones. Lin Haoyang walked out of the earth fire room, and Lin Xuanlin, who had been waiting outside the door for more than 20 days, surrounded him and asked anxiously. How about it? Lin Xuanlin had little hope, because Lin Haoyang only had 2 opportunities. According to normal, the first time to refine the second-tier top-grade magical item, the first 5 refining were all practiced, unless a high-rank refiner personally pointed out. It's basically hopeless for someone like Lin Haoyang to explore on his own. Although Lin Haoyang didn't have the guidance of a famous teacher, but the magic weapon was too subtle, he just made up for Lin Haoyang's shortcomings. Facing Lin Xuanlin's questioning, Lin Haoyang didn't say much, but quietly took out the Guiyuan Tower from his storage bag. The tower is divided into 9 floors, surrounded by subtle light from time to time, and its rank is already a second-tier top grade. Lin Haoyang was still refining because of his lack of proficiency. Seeing Guiyuan Pagoda, Lin Xuanlin was surprised to cover her small mouth. Her eyes glared at Lin Haoyang, her eyes full of incredible colors, as if she was looking at a monster. Grandma, this magical item is given to you. Thank you for the contribution points that you helped me before. If it's not good, I'll make it up later. Lin Haoyang said as he stuffed Guiyuan Tower into Lin Xuanlin's hands. Lin Xuanlin did not shirk either. She is the 7th disciple of the master, and there are 6 seniors on it. No matter how good the master is to them, there is no way for everyone to give them a magical item. Therefore, Lin Xuanlin still has only a second-tier mid-level defensive magical item in her hands. With Guiyuan Tower, she just made up for her shortcomings. After that, the 2 returned to Lin Xuanlin's immortal cave. Just when Lin Haoyang proposed to purchase some more materials to continue to increase the success rate, the arrival of one person broke their plan. No one else came, but Lin Haoyang's fiancée Bai Qingyan. She came here to ask Lin Xuanlin for help to hunt and kill a second-tier demonic beast. The relationship between the Bai family and the Lin family has always been very good. The children of the 2 families in Qingyan sect mostly support each other, especially Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan are both teenagers and girls, so they have cultivated deep feelings over the years. However, Bai Qingyan didn't know that Lin Haoyang had come to Qingyan sect, and he was in Lin Xuanlin's immortal cave. When she came, the 2 of them were somewhat embarrassed. Seeing that the 2 are very divided, Lin Xuanlin had the intention to match up, and simply pulled Lin Haoyang together to help Bai Qingyan hunt demonic beasts together, which can cultivate relationships. Secondly, if there is something to do with her own daughter-in-law, there is reason not to help. It turned out that Bai Qingyan wanted to refine a second-tier medicine pill. Now the materials are complete. Only the compound eye of a crypt spider is one of the main ingredients, but Bai Qingyan searched the sect treasure pavilion and found nothing. However, I got news that there happened to be crypt spiders in a valley. Bai Qingyan could not lack this ingredient if she wanted to refine medicine pill, but one person was not completely sure about dealing with crypt spiders, so she had to ask Lin Xuanlin for help. Lin Haoyang didn't have any opinion. He definitely wanted to take action with Bai Qingyan. Moreover, you can also go to explore the bottom of the wild and see if you can get some demonic beasts materials to ascension refining technique. 3 days later, the three of them carefully prepared something, and then they left the Azure Cloud sect and went straight to the wild border. It took a month before the three of them finally rushed to the border area between the Azure Cloud sect and the wild. Although it is still within the scope of the Azure Cloud sect, low-level demonic beasts have begun to appear, and Bai Qingyan has obtained the information that the crypt spider is hiding in a small valley. Lin Haoyang and the trio were cautious along the way. Even if they encountered other demonic beasts, they walked around and drove for 3 more days, finally reaching the valley where crypt spiders were infested. The valley is small and has a horseshoe shape. Because it faces south and faces north, the valley is dark and humid. Such an environment is indeed suitable for crypt spiders. What to do? Just rush in. Lin Haoyang shook the tiger's claw blade in the handshake and asked. Luo Suyang had been cultivating in the family until he was 16. He went down the mountain to perform family tasks to open up and guard the spiritual field. He seldom worked with others. The few times were the demonic beast's invasion of Lian Valley and 2 attacks, rare. No, this will startle the snake, let it run away and we will be in vain. Moreover, we don't know how many crypt spiders are in this valley. If there is a group of crypt spiders in it, don't we rush into the trap by ourselves? Lin Xuanlin said. Zan Lan is right. Let's wait here for a few days. Crypt spiders will definitely come out to prey. Let's take advantage of this move. Bai Qingyan said. Everyone couldn't think of a better way. They could only stay at the mountain pass for 5 days. For 5 days, the three of them didn't even see the shadow of the cave spider. Just when the three were agitated, an accident forced the three to change their original plan. The three of them have been crouching a mile away from the valley mouth these days, but on the 5th day, a tier 3 high-grade snake demonic beast suddenly broke into the valley. The crypt spiders in the same valley have fought a battle. It seems that this snake demonic beast wants to occupy the valley of the crypt spiders. Facing this kind of battle of tier 3 demonic beasts, how dare the three of them stay here and flee directly? But before Lin Haoyang and the others escaped too far, a huge crypt spider escaped from the valley and happened to head straight to the direction where Lin Haoyang and the three fled. The abdomen of this crypt spider was severely injured. Not only did it break 2 spider legs, there was also a wound on the abdomen of an adult's arm length. The whole body was also cracked a lot of hard shells, and some white pus was still flowing out of the abdomen from time to time. What made the three of them even more helpless was that this crypt spider had reached the 3rd rank inferior grade, and it should be the spider king of this nest of crypt spiders. 2%. Chapter 14. The three of Lin Haoyang panicked and fled for more than 20 miles before being overtaken by the spider king. The crypt spider king was forced to occupy the nest, and all his descendants were slaughtered together, and his heart was already full of anger. However, it couldn't beat the demonic beasts, a top-grade snake of tier 3, and could only take the opportunity to escape, but unexpectedly, it accidentally hit the direction where it was free to escape and ran into the 3 people who ran for the road. Demonic beasts and humans were originally enemies of life and death, and the three of Lin Haoyang happened to be the targets of the Spider King's fire. To deal with it together, otherwise we can't escape at all. Lin Haoyang drew out the tiger's blade and said resolutely. Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan also knew that they couldn't run away, so they each offered magical item and waited. Lin Xuanlin sacrificed the Guiyuan Tower with the top in front to prevent the Crypt Spider King from attacking. At the same time, Bai Qingyan also sacrificed a second-tier high-grade Luyun sword, floating in the air looking for opportunities. Seeing the 3 of them, the Crypt Spider King roared in anger. 4 spider legs propped on the ground, 2 spider legs turned into sharp blades and smashed the 3. Boom! With a loud noise, the 2 spider legs slammed on the Guiyuan pagoda. Lin Xuanlin, who was controlling the Guiyuan pagoda, immediately changed his complexion, and the aura on the Guiyuan pagoda was weak. After all, Crypt Spider King is tier 3 inferior demonic beasts. Even if it is seriously injured, it is much stronger than Lin Xuanlin. When the Crypt Spider King controlled his legs to attack, Bai Qingyan seized the opportunity and controlled the Luyun sword to go straight to the Crypt Spider King's abdominal wound. Lin Haoyang did not idle, controlling the tiger's blade to fly towards the Crypt Spider King's broken back. Carapace. Before the two magical items were hit, the Crypt Spider King activated his talents and spewed out a web to trap the two magical items firmly. The expressions of Bai Qingyan and Lin Haoyang changed at the same time. They found that their control of the magical item was cut off, and the two magical items fell to the ground. Without the magical item in their hands, it would be difficult for Lin Haoyang and the others to cause damage to the Crypt Spider King. In a hurry, Bai Qingyan had to take out a second-tier mid-range flying sword again, and Lin Haoyang also took out the white phosphorus sword. I wonder if it was because seeing that Lin Haoyang and the three were not very threatening to own, he even spewed a spider web again. But this time he went straight to Bai Qingyan, and at the same time, the Crypt Spider King himself also went straight to Bai Qingyan. The complexion of Lin Xuanlin and Lin Haoyang changed. Lin Xuanlin hurriedly urged Guiyuan Tower to block its way, but the Crypt Spider King slammed into the Guiyuan Tower, and then the Crypt Spider King suddenly jumped up, 6 spiders. Cut the leg straight to Bai Qingyan. At this moment, Bai Qingyan was already very scared. Facing the third-tier inferior demonic beasts desperately killing her, she suddenly felt that she was very weak and helpless. It was too sudden at this moment. She couldn't even sacrifice the second-order mid-grade flying sword in her hand. Facing the flying spider web, Bai Qingyan slowly closed her eyes, waiting to be cut into pieces by the Crypt Spider King. However, Bai Qingyan never waited for the spider leg of the Crypt Spider to be sharp. She slowly opened her eyes and saw Lin Haoyang standing in front of her, holding an ancient bronze lamp in her hand. Under Lin Haoyang's urging, a terrifying flame drowned the spider web and the lower body of the Crypt Spider King in the sea of fire. At this time, Lin Xuanlin finally rushed over, and an ice cone fell from the sky, directly smashing the brain of the Crypt Spider King. At this point, the Crypt Spider King finally died. At this moment, Bai Qingyan still didn't believe that she had survived. The hand holding the second-order mid-grade flying sword was still trembling, tears running across her face. Come and help me, I'm a little bit imaginary now. Lin Haoyang smiled bitterly and said. Just now, Lin Haoyang forcibly urged the third-order magical item bronze ancient lamp, which has already drained the spirit power in his body. Now any demonic beasts can kill him. Lin Xuanlin took a look at Lin Haoyang's situation and found that his spirit power was exhausted and it was not a major problem, and then went straight to the corpse of the Crypt Spider King to dispose of the corpse. Bai Qingyan finally recovered, and hurriedly helped Lin Haoyang to restore his spirit power to protect his law. At this moment, looking at Lin Haoyang who was pale, her heart finally came to winter and spring, and she began to take this desperately to protect her own man as her own Dao companion. In the past, she was mostly thinking about family marriage, and she was still a little bit conflicted in her heart. After Lin Haoyang recovered 30% of his spirit power and basically had the power to protect himself, the three people worked together to divide the Crypt Spider King and take away all the useful things, especially a pair of compound eyes and 6 spider legs. The Crypt Spider King has little flesh and blood, and the three of them only received 200 to 300 kilograms. In addition to these, one of the earlier spider webs was also put away by Lin Haoyang, and it can also be used to refine magical items in the future, but unfortunately the other one has already been used to refine magical item. The flame of the ancient bronze lamp burned to ashes. After finishing the Crypt Spider King's materials, the three of them dared not stay for a moment, and went back the same way. After a month, the three of them finally returned to the Azure Cloud sect. Finally, the compound eyes of the Crypt Spider King were taken away by Bai Qingyan to refine medicine pill, and the 6 spider legs Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanlin each took 3, and the spider webs were also distributed to Lin Haoyang, the refiner. Ready to eat for yourself. This time, they can be described as dangerous. If it were not for the critical moment Lin Haoyang desperately urged Tier 3 magical item, Bai Qingyan would have been unable to return. So far, the relationship between Bai Qingyan and Lin Haoyang has become much closer. After getting the 3 spider legs of demonic beasts, Lin Haoyang finally found good materials for refining the Senkai sword, and spent 200 spirit stones to make up other auxiliary materials. Lin Haoyang entered the earth fire room again to refine the Senkai sword. 15 days later, Lin Haoyang walked out of the earth fire room. Although his face was exhausted, his inner joy couldn't be suppressed. The Senkai sword was finally practiced, and its quality has reached the top grade of the second-order high-quality product. Because the main material is the third-order material, as long as some materials are added in the future to reharden, the combination of the flying sword of the Senkai sword can enter. The order is the third order. After that, Lin Haoyang didn't keep it either. He bought 2 sets of materials for the 500 spirit stones left on his body, and refined it again, using the Ascension Own refining technique. However, this time I was not so lucky, and only trained into a second-tier top-grade Qianyuan banner. As Lin Xuanlin's compensation for borrowing her contribution points, Lin Haoyang gave this magical item to Lin Xuanlin. By this time, Lin Haoyang's success rate for refining had reached 60%, and his purpose of coming to Qingyunzong was finally achieved, and it was time to return to Lin's house. Lin Haoyang bid farewell to Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyun, and it took 2 months to return to the Lin family of Baixiang Mountain. When the news that Lin Haoyang became a Tier 2 high-grade refiner, there was a burst of joy inside and outside the Lin family. With Lin Haoyang's talent, he will become a Tier 3 refiner in the future. As long as there are no accidents, that is a sure thing. Moreover, in the future, the refining mission of the family will also be tilted towards Lin Haoyang, to ascension his refining technique. However, the happiest one is Lin Xuancheng, who feels that the younger generation of Own finally doesn't have to worry about him. Since Lin Haoyang has successfully made a breakthrough in the second-tier high-grade refiner, it is no longer suitable to return to Lian Valley. If a second-tier high-grade refiner is asked to guard the spiritual field, isn't it a waste of resources? In addition to the 4 major immortal cultivators in Xinjiang County, there are also many rogue cultivators, and some people have a market. As a result, the 4 major Shushan families in Xinjiang County took the lead to establish a shop in Fengyuan Mountain for cultivator transactions, and the Lin family also had 4 shops in the shop. Therefore, Lin Qianlong decided to send Lin Haoyang to manage the 4 shops of the Lin family, and by the way, he could also take on some refining tasks to increase the family's income. 3%. Chapter 15 Fengyuanfang City. Lin Haoyang was called by Lin Qianlong before leaving and told him some insiders of Fengyuanfang City. When Fengyuanfang City was first built, the 4 big families each occupied 8 stores, and the Lin family also had 8. However, the Lin family suffered major changes 100 years ago, and the high-level combat power suffered severe losses. After that, Yan returned to the castle and Ma's family took advantage of the lack of strength of the Lin family and successively invaded the 4 shops of the Lin family. 20 years ago, Lin Qianlong was injured by the Azure Cloud sect's recruitment, and the Ma family once again became interested in occupying them and wanted to occupy all the 4 shops. Over the years, the Ma family has been suppressing the business of the 4 shops of the Lin family. Compared with the past, the income of the 4 shops has been reduced by more than half. It would have been difficult if it were not for the Lin family to have a third-order pill refining master of the Mencius generation maintained. Recently, the Ma family has become more aggressive in oppressing customers, and these 4 stores have been difficult to maintain. The Bai family was similar to the Lin family. There were only 6 of the original 8 shops. 2 of them were occupied by the Lu family of Hongyu Lake. After hearing Lin Ganlong's words, Lin Haoyang felt immense pressure. Fengyuan Mountain, where Fengyuanfang City is located in the northeast of Xinjiang County. It took Lin Haoyang half a month to arrive from Lin's family. Fengyuanfang City was built at the foot of the mountain. After years of development, a town has been formed here. Gathered a lot of people. Walking through the streets of Fengyuanfang City, the shops on the first street are very prosperous, and there are many things inside, and cultivators come and go here from time to time. When Lin Haoyang walked to the end street and saw the 4 shops of the Lin family, he couldn't help but shook his head. The decoration of the Lin family's shop was outdated, and there were not many furnishings inside, on the table. Although the situation was terrible, Lin Haoyang took over here and replaced the original Xuanzi generation in charge. There are a total of 9 cultivators in the 4 shops and Lin Haoyang. Except for Lin Haoyang, most of them are cultivators of the same generation as Lin Haoyang's father, and 2 of them are Haozi cultivators. 5 years later, Haozi has also begun to take the stage. Among the 8 cultivators, Lin Shutong has the highest cultivation base, reaching the 7th level of coagulation, while most of the other 7 cultivators are still in the early stage of coagulation. Because they have to take care of the shop, the cultivators stationed here rarely have time to cultivate, and it is difficult for their cultivation base to grow by 1 point. As soon as Lin Haoyang took over, he asked Lin Shutong to introduce the situation of the 4 stores. Lin Shutong sorted out a bit and said, "There are 32 shops in Fengyuanfang City, 12 in the Ma family, 10 in the Lu family, and 6 in the Bai family. Our Lin family has the least, only 4. The Ma and Lu family occupy the first street, and we can only occupy the last. The end of the street is the least crowded. Let's talk about income. In the past few years, our Lin family didn't have much to sell. In recent years, only rainbow trout snapper has been added. In addition, Huang Gudan sells well, plus some spiritual rice, some magical items sent by the family, demonic beasts materials and other miscellaneous goods. The 4 shops can earn 1,000 spirit stones a year. And the Ma family is 7,000. Quote. Lin Haoyang's expression changed when he heard that the gap was so huge. No wonder the family was so sad all these years. It turned out that the Lin family was so miserable to be suppressed. But now that Lin Haoyang is here, the Ma family don't want to take away a single cent. After careful consideration, Lin Haoyang said to everyone, in the future, our Lin store will be widely used for refining the second-order magical item, and the labor cost will be 10% lower than the market. Everyone already knows about Lin Haoyang's breakthrough second-tier high-grade refiner, but by forcibly seizing the market and lowering the price, the Ma family can openly fight the price war. At that time, it will be them who can't hold it first. Seeing everyone's worry, Lin Haoyang just waved his hand and asked everyone to follow suit. Although Lin Shutong didn't understand, he still did what Lin Haoyang said. Soon, the news that Linjiafang City could refine the second-order magical item spread throughout Fengyuan town. Soon after the news came out, the heads of the Lu and Ma's families gathered in the Ma's shop. The Ma family stayed here to occupy the largest share, and the annual income was considerable, so a foundation building cultivator was stationed here. Ma Tianqing is the foundation building cultivator, and the opposite of him is Lu Haipeng, the steward of the Lu family. Brother Ma, this Lin family is clearly trying to grab our business. What should I do? Lu Haipeng said with an angry expression. Hey, he is just a fledgling brat. He dares to reduce costs and play a price war, which is just what I want. He is nothing more than a tier 2 high-grade refiner, and my Ma family has a tier 3 refiner. When I invite him, why should I be afraid of him? The Lin family took the initiative to start the war this time, and it happened to take the 4 shops of the Lin family in one fell swoop. Ma Tianqing was somewhat indifferent. Ha ha ha, then I'll wait and see. Lu Haipeng agreed, but a little light flashed in his eyes. At the same time, Bai Zuoming, the manager of the Bai family, was already standing in front of Lin Haoyang and persuaded Lin Haoyang. Haoyang, when you did this, didn't you make it clear that you are facing the Lu Ma family? The Ma family has a tier 3 crafting master. As long as the Ma family invites them, can you still end up? When the time comes, the Ma's family will take the opportunity to launch a disaster. I am afraid that these 4 stores in your family will not be able to keep it. Quote. Faced with Bai Zuoming's persuasion, Lin Haoyang just listened, and did not take it seriously. The 2 Lin Bai married together and naturally became one. Seeing that Lin Haoyang was like a stubborn donkey, he didn't listen to advice at all, and Bai Zuoming stopped admonishing, saying, if you have any difficulties, come to me, then shook his head and left. Soon after Bai Zuoming left, Lin Haoyang welcomed his first guest, Hu Chuyuan, rogue cultivators on the 5th floor. I heard that you can build a second-order magical item here, and the labor cost is 10% cheaper than the market. Hu Chuyuan asked. Yes, as long as it is a second-order magical item, the success rate is 70%, the quality of the finished product is low, and the first order is not charged, and the second-order compensation material fee is low. Lin Haoyang self-reported. After saying this, Hu Chuyuan's eyes brightened, and the success rate of refining the second-tier magical item was 70%. That said, he only wanted to refine a second-tier middle-grade magical item. The success rate is of course not to be said, and the compensation is guaranteed, so it is better to try. After thinking about it, Hu Chuyuan took out a second-tier medium-grade Earth Dragon Beast armor, and wanted to refine a defensive magical item. After taking the beast armor, Lin Haoyang thought it was a good one. As long as it is mixed with several spar iron ore, it can become an excellent defensive magical item. Okay, plus the material cost, I will charge you 100 spirit stones, and take them in 2 days. Lin Haoyang said. The price was very low, and it was indeed 10% lower than the normal price on the market. Hu Chuyuan did not hesitate and immediately agreed. Taking the Earth Dragon Beast armor, Lin Haoyang walked into the special refining room in the inner room. Although there is no earth fire like Qingyunzong, there is a real fire that is not weak, which is enough to refine the second-order magical item. 2 days later, Hu Chuyuan came to the Lin's shop again and saw Lin Haoyang appeared in the shop, and he knew it was done. Boss Lin, how is it? Hu Chuyuan asked nervously. Lin Haoyang smiled and took out a shield from under the counter. Its main material was Earth Dragon Beast armor. What surprised Hu Chuyuan was that although the grade of this magical item was only a middle grade, its quality was up to the mark. The edge of the second order top grade is just a step away. Seeing this, Hu Chuyuan was overjoyed, and hurriedly took out 100 spirit stones from his arms and stuffed them to Lin Haoyang, as if he was afraid that he would regret it. Boss Lin's skill in refining tools is really amazing. This time, I will definitely introduce you to my friends so that they can come to see and see. Hu Chuyuan said. Ha ha ha, then thank brother Hu. After that, Hu Chuyuan left, with Lin Haoyang's armor shield in his hand, and soon spread Lin Haoyang's craftsmanship. For a while, many rogue cultivators came to Lin Haoyang and kept him busy for a long time. But come. In the secret room of the Ma family on the first street, Ma Tianqing looked at the armor shield made of the Earth Dragon Beast armor in his hand for a long time, because the quality is so good, even the level of the Tier 3 refiner in their family is nothing more than that. Even if the third order refiner was invited in, it was just a price war with Lin Haoyang. But in this way, the Ma family suffered too much, and it was a waste of a Tier 3 refiner, and the family would not agree. Brother Ma, do you want to steal this kid? Lu Haipeng made a throat-cutting motion. 3%. Chapter 16 Exploring the Ruins. Ma Tianqing's eyes narrowed slightly, and he was wondering whether he should do something to Lin Haoyang. Ma Tianqing's face changed, and finally the eyebrows stretched out, saying, "No, this kid is afraid that he will become a Tier 3 refiner in the future. If such a person dies outside, the Lin family will definitely not let it go. Lin Qianlong is not a good stubble. 20 years ago, it was already on the 8th floor of the foundation building. If some clues are found, he might dare to come directly." Quote. When it comes to Lin Qianlong, Lu Haipeng's complexion changes one after another. He still remembers Lin Qianlong's record 20 years ago. Lin Haoyang was busy refining the magical item, knowing that he had escaped quietly. In the past 2 months, more than a dozen rogue cultivators have found Lin Haoyang to refine the magical item. It took 2 months before Lin Haoyang slowly completed the refining. A large number of refining magical item, Lin Haoyang's refining level, and therefore obtained a great ascension. However, rogue cultivators is not like a family after all. Sect cultivators have a solid foundation. In 2 months, the nearby rogue cultivators with crafting materials have basically become magical items, and the customer base in the future can only be accumulated slowly. This time, the Lin family not only gained a reputation for refining tools, but also earned more than 300 spirit stones, although there will be no such large refining business in the future. But the reputation is good, and the Lin family can increase the income of more than 500 spirit stones every year by relying on refining tools. Slowly, Lin Haoyang gradually settled down here, and his stay was 2 years. Although it usually takes some time to refine the magical item, Lin Haoyang's spirit power level has also reached the peak of the 8th level of condensing veins, and it is 1 step short of breaking into the 9th level of condensing veins. In the past 2 years, the Lin's shop has improved a lot because of Lin Haoyang's presence. The annual income of the 4 shops has increased from 1,000 spirit stones to around 1,500 spirit stones, which can be said to have improved a lot. My nephew Haoyang, how are you doing these days? Bai Zuoming strode into Lin Haoyang's shop. His attitude changed sharply compared to 2 years ago. Uncle Bai is in such a good mood today, but what happy event is there? Lin Haoyang greeted. Compared with 2 years ago, Lin Haoyang has matured a lot. When I walked into the store, I looked around and saw that there were no strangers. Bai Zuoming's complexion changed abruptly, and he hurriedly pulled Lin Haoyang into the inner room with a solemn expression. Good nephew Haoyang. A few days ago, our people received an information and found an immortal cave left by the foundation building cultivator. I think, this immortal cave, our 2 companies cooperate and explore together. Quote. After listening to Bai Zuming's words, Lin Haoyang's expression changed slightly. The immortal cave left by the foundation building cultivator, for them, the pulse condensing cultivator, is so much good. But Lin Haoyang did not immediately agree. Bai Zuoming did not monopolize it. It must be something mysterious in this immortal cave. He needs help. Is there any mystery in this immortal cave? Lin Haoyang said. Bai Zuoming smiled knowingly, and continued. Hee, I really can't hide from Haoyang nephew. This immortal cave is the legacy of a Tier 3 formation. There is a Tier 3 formation outside the Immortal Cave. It is difficult for us to break through the Bai family. Lin Haoyang thought for a while. He knew the difficulty of third order formation. Even the foundation building cultivator, it is difficult to break through in a short time. Most of the time, you can only use strong attack and hard grinding. If the cultivator wants to break through the formation, it can only rely on the number of people to pile it up. Okay, you can join hands with each other, but I don't know how to distribute the harvest this time. Lin Haoyang asked. Bai Zuoming smiled slightly and said, this immortal cave was discovered by our Bai family, and the number of people in our Bai family is also larger. So if you get this, how about 4 or 6 points? Lin Haoyang thought about it slightly, considering that in addition to the shopkeepers, there could be up to 5 people in his side. He also felt that the matter was fair, so he agreed. The two discussed, leaving 10 days to prepare, and set off after 10 days. In order to prevent the news from leaking, only the two of them knew the news for the time being. After Bai Zuoming left, Lin Haoyang ordered to go down and buy 2 Tier 2 high-grade charms and some other materials for breaking the formation. Lin Haoyang is not worried about magical items. Over the years, he has created some magical items for himself to make up for his own shortcomings. In terms of magical items, Lin Haoyang is also considered a big player in the cultivator. After 10 days of preparations, the two were properly prepared and took their respective men and horses out of Fengyuanfang City overnight. With such a large number of manpower evacuated from the two families, there is no way to hide the Malu family, but by then Lin Haoyang and others are no longer in Fang City. The two can only stare. This time, there were 7 people from the Bai family. In addition to Bai Zuoming's 9-stage cultivator, there were also 2 late-stage cultivators, and they were indeed stronger than Lin Haoyang. A total of 12 people rushed for more than half a month before finally rushing to their destination. Looking at the destination, Lin Haoyang narrowed his eyes slightly. The place was surrounded by mountains and deserted, making it a good place to hide. This place is Immortal Cave. A rogue cultivator who has something to do with my Bai family discovered that he was walking through this place in search of elixir, but he found a cave on the side of an unnamed mountain. He originally wanted to go in and rest, but he didn't expect the cave to be guarded by the third order formation. At first glance, the cave is covered with dust. Presumably this place is also left by a foundation building cultivator. Bai Zuoming said briefly, and led everyone to rush. Go to the mountainside where Immortal Cave is. The cave is not big, and the entrance of the cave is only as high as 2 people. At first glance, the cave is covered with dust, and it must have been a long time. Lin Haoyang stepped forward, offering a tiger blade and slashing towards Immortal Cave, but before approaching, an invisible wall of light blocked the tiger blade and couldn't get in. Then the light wall changed, and there were many runes. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang is sure that this is definitely a third order formation, and may even have reached the third order middle grade. Because, Lin Haoyang felt that this formation was a bit more mysterious than that arranged by Lin Xuanjia, a third order inferior formation. How is it, Haoyang Xian nephew? Bai Zuoming watched Lin Haoyang make a trial, but did not stop, just smiled. As Uncle Bai said, this formation is indeed third order, and it is very likely to reach the third order middle grade. Lin Haoyang said. Having said this, Bai Zuoming's eyes condensed, put away his smile, and asked. Does the nephew have the means to crack it? Lin Haoyang shook his head. If Lin Xuanjia was here, it would be much easier to crack the formation, but Lin Haoyang didn't know much about the formation, and he could only use a little bit of stupid way to crack the formation of this third tier lower middle grade. Drop it. Seeing Lin Haoyang shook his head, Bai Zuoming was only a little regretful. Originally, it was difficult to train a formation master, not to mention Lin Haoyang only had a good method in the refinement. Soon, with the cooperation of Bai Zuoming and Lin Haoyang, the two cultivators were divided into 2 groups and attacked the formation in turn. As long as they were consumed in this way, the formation would always be breached. When attacking the formation, Lin Haoyang made some limelight. Lin Haoyang sacrificed a 3-talented sword formation, a sword formation composed of 3 second-tier flying swords. The power reached the peak of the condensing pulse. For a while, even Bai Zuoming was afraid of Lin Haoyang by 3 points. However, these are just some small episodes, and the formation is constantly consumed by the people, and there is no one to host this formation. Without the addition of spirit power, it took 3 days for everyone to break the formation. Seeing that the gate of Immortal Cave was finally opened, everyone was overjoyed. At this moment, the middle stage cultivator of the White family's veins was ecstatic, and the first one rushed in. Lin Haoyang wanted to stop it, but it was too late. At this moment, a dark shadow flashed in Immortal Cave and went straight to the Bai family cultivator. Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming changed their eyes and wanted to rescue them. But in an instant, the cultivator of the Bai family was punched through the chest and abdomen by the black shadow. Before even the magical item could be sacrificed, he died. His face was full of excitement and unwillingness. Seeing this, Bai Zuoming's complexion was gloomy, and he sacrificed a tier 2 high-grade fire cloud orb, releasing a flame to deter everyone. Under this flame, the surrounding area became hot for 3 minutes. Continue to order, / Bai Zuoming said viciously, revealing his body in the 9-layer cultivation base. Lin Haoyang also sacrificed his own 3-talent sword formation. The sword formation was suspended in the air, no less powerful than Huo Yunju, and together they frightened everyone. With the shock of the two, everyone dare not act rashly. 3%. Chapter 17 Tier 3 Puppet. After killing the cultivator of the Bai family, the black shadow in the cave remained silent, completely indifferent to everyone outside the cave. Obviously, there are restrictions here. As long as they don't step into the immortal cave, the shadow will not attack. Lin Haoyang condensed divine sense to explore the cave, but found that the dark shadow in the cave did not fluctuate. So far, Lin Haoyang had guesses in his heart, saying, I just used divine sense to probe and found that there is no soul in the dark shadow in the cave. I guess that the dark shadow may be a puppet, and it is very likely a tier 3 puppet. After hearing this, Bai Zuoming tried to plunge his own divine sense into the hole, but it was difficult to detect the strangeness of the black shadow. Bai Zuoming couldn't help being shocked again. Lin Haoyang's divine sense turned out to be so powerful. In the end, Bai Zuoming gave up the temptation and asked Lin Haoyang, even if it is a foundation building puppet, I and these people can take it down. Lin Haoyang also knew that the puppets were uncontrolled, and their combat power was only 60% at most. They could take it down at 11, but how many puppets are there in this hole? If there were 1 or 2 more, it would be difficult for them to escape from their hands. Daotu is merciless. If you don't dare to take any danger, don't even go too far. Lin Haoyang thinks that you can give it a try. However, everyone did not rush in stupidly, but sacrificed their own defense magical item. Lin Haoyang wiped his hand on the storage bag, and a pagoda appeared in his hand. Since the last time he refined the Guiyuan pagoda, Lin Haoyang thought it was good, so he collected materials and refined one for himself. The Guiyuan pagoda is sacrificed on top of the head, and there are 6 or 7 defensive magical items such as shields and umbrellas, which will protect everyone strictly. Among these defensive magical items, Lin Haoyang's Guiyuan pagoda is the most eye-catching and the most powerful. Everyone took advantage of the trend to let it top the forefront. With good protection, everyone stepped into Immortal Cave. The moment they stepped into Immortal Cave, they seemed to have touched restrictions, and the original foundation building puppets that hadn't moved came straight to everyone. Boom! The foundation building puppets are fast, and in the blink of an eye, they hit the Guiyuan pagoda with a punch, but multiple defensive magical items were sacrificed together, and everyone easily blocked the blow. But at this moment, another black shadow emerged from the depths of the Immortal Cave. Lin Haoyang's expression changed. This black shadow was also a foundation building puppet. And this puppet is not much the same as the previous one. It is larger in size and far less speed than the previous one. This puppet emerged from the left, and when it appeared, it hit the umbrella-shaped defensive magical item with a punch. The cultivator of Lin's family that urged this magical item was hit by the puppet's punch, and his complexion instantly turned pale, and the aura on the umbrella was half dimmed. Lin Haoyang saw that it was wrong and immediately shouted. One of the 2 puppets is good at power and the other is good at speed. If they are besieged at the same time, we are afraid we will not last long. Bai Zuoming's complexion wasn't very good either, and he obviously saw the situation clearly, and said, leave it to us for speed, and to you for strength. After that, Bai Zuoming led the 5 members of the Bai family to the speed puppet. With Bai Zuoming on top, Lin Haoyang also took the opportunity to return to the Yuan Pagoda and united with the 4 members of the Lin family to besiege the foundation building puppet who was good at power. With the Guiyuan pagoda to withstand, the Lin family felt the pressure relieved, especially Lin Shutong, as the only late-stage condensing veins other than Lin Haoyang. He was under the strongest pressure before, and now he finally relaxed. There are 3 defensive magical items on the Lin family, especially Guiyuan Tower, which basically blocked more than half of the pressure. Although this puppet can only display 60% of its strength, it is much stronger than the 9th layer of condensing veins. Lin Haoyang did not dare to delay, and immediately urged the Senkai sword to form the Senkai sword formation, and immediately rushed towards the foundation building puppets. The Lin family did not dare to neglect, and they urged the magical item in their hands to attack wildly. However, the strength of this puppet is far beyond Lin Haoyang's imagination, and the three swords combined can only leave a small damage. If you want to completely defeat this puppet, I am afraid that it will not be possible for a while. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang's heart sank. The Lin family's attacks did little harm to the puppet, and at most hindered the puppet's actions. Lin Haoyang glanced at the people of the Bai family and found that the situation on the Bai family was almost the same. At this moment, Bai Zuoming also sacrificed a powerful defensive magical item, which was able to withstand the attack of the foundation building puppet, but looks like they can't hold on for long. The battle can no longer be delayed. Lin Haoyang's eyes flashed a ruthless color, and 2 second-tier top-grade charms appeared in his hands. Lin Haoyang did not hesitate at all and threw the charms directly to the foundation building puppet. The foundation building puppet was entangled by the 4 members of the Lin family and was temporarily unable to get out. The 2 auras turned into 2 auras and came on top of the puppet's head. The puppet felt a little uneasy. A red light flashed in his eyes, and suddenly hit the umbrella with a fist. On magical item, this strike already has 10% of the power of the foundation building. Boom! Under the tremendous force of horror, the umbrella magical item disintegrated directly and turned into a pile of remnants. After smashing the umbrella magical item, the foundation building puppet's power remained undiminished, and it slammed on the Guiyuan pagoda again, and was slammed by the foundation building puppet. Its aura dimmed fiercely, and even a crack appeared in the tower. However, Guiyuan Tower finally resisted this strike. Just at this moment, the attack transformed by the 2 magic talisman also arrived. Lin Haoyang prepared 2 9-fire heavenly thunder talisman. The magic talisman turned into 2 arm-thick thunders and fell on the puppet. At the same time, Lin Haoyang also urged the Senkai sword. Form a sword formation and chop on the puppet. In just one breath, the foundation building puppet is equivalent to being hit by 3 top-notch 9-layer cultivators at the same time. Even if the puppet is Bufin, it can't hold it at this moment. Especially the lightning formed by the 2 9-fire heavenly thunder talisman, along with the wound cut by the Senkai sword, directly destroyed the core of the foundation building puppet. When the power of the 9-fire heavenly thunder talisman dissipated, the foundation building puppet was scorched, and his red eyes gradually lost luster, and black smoke appeared from all over the body from time to time. At this time, Lin Haoyang took a sigh of relief and hurriedly took out 2 middle-grade spirit stones to restore spirit power. He had been urging 2 second-tier top-grade magical items at the same time just now, which consumes a lot of energy, and he sacrificed 2 magical items in his body. Spirit power has less than 30% left. Lin Haoyang looked at the Lin family and saw that Lin Shutong was kneeling on the ground at the moment, his expression dim, and he was supported by a Lin family disciple. Just now, the umbrella-shaped magical item smashed by the foundation building puppet was sacrificed by Lin Shutong. The magical item was destroyed and the owner was also severely injured. At the moment of the foundation building puppet, the power of terror spread along the umbrella magical item to Lin Shutong, instantly displacing the 5 internal organs in Lin Shutong's body, and meridians were also damaged in many places. Unless there is a high-rank medicine pill, Lin Shutong wants to raise it. Injury, I am afraid it will take 10 years. Leave 1 person to take care of Lin Shutong, and the other 2 will come with me. After recovering some spirit power, Lin Haoyang said, because Bai Zuoming was about to be unable to hold it. This puppet who is good at speed is even more difficult to deal with. Bai Zuoming also sacrificed a magic talisman just now, but it did not cause much damage. Seeing Lin Haoyang and the 3 rushing over, his face was bright and she admired Lin Haoyang even more. The 6 of them dealt with a puppet, and none of them were opponents, but the 5 of the Lin family had already solved one. With the participation of Lin Haoyang and the 3, the battle situation finally improved. Like the previous puppet, his eyes gradually turned red after falling into the wind. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang was startled and shouted, "Attention! This guy is going into a violent rage. His strength will soar to the foundation building's 10% power." As soon as Lin Haoyang's voice fell, the foundation building puppet suddenly accelerated and turned into an afterimage. Despite Lin Haoyang's reminder, several defensive magical items of the Bai family were still destroyed. Seeing the foundation building puppets showing their power, Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming did not have any reservations anymore, attacking wildly, preventing the foundation building puppets from taking advantage of them. After a stick of incense, the foundation building puppet ran out of the spirit stones stored in the body. Without the support of the spirit stones, the puppet turned into a dead object and gradually stopped moving. Seeing the red in the eyes of the foundation building puppets faded, Lin Haoyang relaxed. At this moment, there was no trace of spirit power left in his body. At the last moment, Lin Haoyang was already holding the spirit stones in one hand and urging the flying sword with the other. Planted here. Bai Xiaoming is worse than Lin Haoyang's aura. The magical item was accidentally destroyed just now, and the meridians have been injured. After that, it was just a strong support. At this moment, he took out the medicine pill to recover. 3%. Chapter 18 Harvest. This battle was a tragic victory, and everyone's defense magical item was almost completely destroyed. In addition, 2 people were injured too badly and their way was ruined. Although the losses are huge, the gains are equally astonishing. The 2 puppets with foundation building combat power are worthy of everyone's worthwhile trip. This time, Lin Haoyang must be the one who contributed the most. If the previous 4 or 6 splits were used, Bai Zuoming would be very sad. This time, Lin Haoyang would have saved 6 lives in the Bai family. After an hour of restoring and adjusting his breath, Lin Haoyang's spirit power recovered to about 80%. Although Bai Zuoming was a little bit close, it was not a major problem. Now that the crisis was resolved, it was time to allocate the power products. Seeing everyone recovered almost, Bai Zuoming said, "Good nephew Haoyang, thanks to your help this time, we were able to save 1 life. We are still 4 or 6 points for this battle power, but this time, we are 4 and you are 6. Before Bai Zuoming finished speaking, Lin Haoyang interrupted, saying, "Uncle Bai, if this is where, our 2 have an appointment to explore the treasure together, so it should be shot. We still have a good score. No matter how much I said, it saved me a life of someone Bai. If you can't be greedy for money and forget your righteousness, you can only score 4 or 6 points. 6 of you, 4 of us." Although Bai Zuoming is greedy for money, he also knows that he owns 2 caddies. If it weren't for Lin Haoyang this time, their Bai family would even have to confess their 6 lives here. Moreover, Bai Zuoming's insistence on 4 or 6 points has another meaning, that is, to show his favor to Lin Haoyang. With a character like Lin Haoyang, it is very likely that the foundation building will be in the future. Bai Zuoming's actions at this moment can also be regarded as praise. Lin Haoyang was really overwhelmed, and finally agreed with Lin family 6 and Bai family 4. For the 2 puppets, Lin Haoyang chose the one that was good at speed. First, it suffered less damage, and second, this puppet was more practical and had a greater effect on the battlefield. Bai Zuoming didn't say anything, and put away the foundation building puppet who was good at strength, and then waited for Lin Haoyang with him. Before he could study, Lin Haoyang also put the puppet into the storage bag. After arriving in Fengyuanfang City, Lin Qianlong gave Lin Haoyang the storage that he had seized from the foundation building rogue cultivators because he had to manage the cumbersome matters of the store. Although it was only a 3rd-order inferior product, the internal space was much larger than that of his previous one. It is 3 cubic meters, and it is completely fine to fit this puppet. After receiving the puppets, the 2 parties walked to the depths of Immortal Cave again, but this time there was no formation or puppet blocking. According to Lin Haoyang's observation, this is indeed an immortal cave of a foundation building cultivator, but because no one lives in it for too many years, already covered with dust. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang's spirit power blasted and turned into a breeze, sweeping away all the dust, and this immortal cave returned to its appearance many years ago. Immortal Cave is not big, with only 3 cave rooms, bedroom, refining room, and welcoming room. It seems that this is just a temporary residence, and the decoration is not luxurious. At this moment, Lin Haoyang and the others are in the welcome room, but Lin Haoyang is a little curious. He didn't feel that there are spiritual veins here. How did the foundation building cultivator cultivate? Is it all supported by spirit stones? This is too extravagant. With this question, everyone entered the bedroom. The bedroom was not big, only a bed made of phoenix blood wood and some furniture. Phoenix blood is a 3rd-tier wood. Although it is not really contaminated with phoenix blood, it must grow near the nest of the high-rank bird demonic beasts. The Linbai family, like locusts in transit, quickly collected these phoenix trees according to a ratio of 46 to 6. However, everyone was still a little lost, and the harvest was not as great as they had imagined. With the last expectation, everyone went to the refining room. As soon as they arrived in the refining room, everyone was overjoyed because they saw the owner of this immortal cave. No, it should be the remains of the owner of this immortal cave. At this moment, I was sitting next to the refining furnace, as if looking at the furnace, what magical item was being refined. For some reason, suddenly bad luck fell and my life was lost here. The real fire in the refining furnace dissipated, and it had no value. Bai Zuoming came to the remains, and after searching for it, he found the storage bag of the remains. Lin Haoyang was slightly surprised that the storage bag had reached the 3rd tier top grade. Although time has passed for a long time, the restrictions left by the foundation building cultivator are still there, and Bai Zuoming volunteered to crack the restrictions. Lin Haoyang didn't fight either. He went around in the refinery room, and suddenly a withered, half-human tall tree attracted his attention by the corner of the wall. Upon closer inspection, Lin Haoyang's complexion changed abruptly. Juling wood. Lin Haoyang couldn't help but exclaimed, causing everyone to watch. When they saw this withered half-human tall tree, everyone's expressions changed in shock, but there was a trace of regret. Spirit gathering wood is a kind of spiritual plant that can condense heaven and earth spirit power. This spirit gathering wood is equivalent to a tier 3 spirit vein. It is no wonder that the owner of Immortal Cave does not need to open up the spirit veins. With this spirit gathering wood in, it is better than Lingmei is better. Lin Haoyang secretly regrets that it is difficult to feed the spirit gathering tree, and it is indispensable to take care of it. I think no one will take care of it after the death of the foundation building cultivator, and it will wither shortly afterwards. But even if it was the withered spirit gathering wood, it was also a precious spiritual thing. Lin Haoyang cut it into 2 pieces, and the 2 were divided. Except for Zhu Lingmu, there are no other good things here. At this moment, Bai Zuoming finally broke open the storage bag of the foundation building cultivator, and poured out the contents. There were so many things, almost half of the welcome room was piled up. However, many of them are made of refining materials, and the grade is not low, basically 3rd order. Seeing these things, Lin Haoyang almost jumped up without excitement, and she gave a pillow when she wanted to sleep. After 2 years of training, Lin Haoyang's refinement level has been greatly improved. Ascension, he has already begun to touch the threshold of the 3rd tier refiner, but because the 3rd tier refiner materials are really hard to find, this is delayed. In addition to the materials for the refining equipment, there are not many other things. Spirit stones only have a dozen medium-grade spirit stones, which must be used to motivate the 2 puppets. In addition, there are some medicine pill bottles and an introduction to refining. Puppets notes. These medicine pills did not explain, and everyone did not dare to take it casually. As for the notes on puppet refining, except for Lin Haoyang, everyone was not very interested, but everyone still printed a copy, and Lin Haoyang took it away. The original. As for the refining materials and spirit stones, everyone took away the necessary parts according to the proportions. Lin Haoyang and the others were given 8 medium-grade spirit stones. Lin Haoyang didn't need one. They gave them all to the other 4 Lin family members. Each of them chose a 3rd order refining material. This is their harvest this time. After all, they didn't make much effort either. The value of tier 3 materials plus 2 middle grade spirit stones is no less than 600 spirit stones. For them, it is already a big profit. As for Lin Haoyang, he took the foundation building puppet and 6 tier 3 materials, which was the most profitable in this trip, but who made the most effort. This time the treasure hunt, the value of 2 foundation building puppets is no less than 6,000 spirit stones, plus a dozen pieces of tier 3 materials, a dozen medium-grade spirit stones, and notes for refining the puppets. The one-time harvest has reached a staggering 13,000 spirit stones, which is a big profit. Even if it is an ordinary foundation building cultivator, it is difficult to have such a net worth. I think this person must be a certain family or a sect disciple. After all the spoils were distributed, Lin Haoyang and everyone returned to Fengyuanfang City. However, the appearance of most of the people with injuries quickly attracted the attention of Lu and Ma's family, and they began to approach the 2 cultivators, wanting to make some news. Fortunately, Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming had everyone swear their soul oaths when they left, and they could not spread the matter out, otherwise, it might be a little troublesome. The soul oath is a commonly used method of secrecy among cultivators. Once the soul oath is signed, the oath cannot be easily violated, otherwise the soul of the cultivator will be in danger. How important is the spirit to the cultivator? Even if you get lucky, it will ruin the way. Therefore, the soul oath has gradually become a customary method for confidentiality and contract among cultivators. 3%. Chapter 19. Inside the secret room of the Ma's shop, Ma Tianqing and Lu Haipeng were discussing something with a gloomy face. Brother Ma, the people I sent to inquire in the past 2 days have been closed doors. It seems that they must have gained a lot this time. Although the injuries one by one are not light, there is a hint of joy in every eye. Lu Haipeng said. Hearing Lu Haipeng's words, Ma Tianqing frowned further. As Lu Haipeng said, he also sent someone to inquire. However, he only found out what ruins he went out to explore, but he didn't know where he went and what he had gained. He also knew that this must be a soul oath signed, and he couldn't find out any news at all. Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming could be required to sign a soul oath contract. It seems that the two have gained a lot this time. Seeing that Ma Tianqing didn't say anything, Lu Haipeng was impatient for a while and said, Brother Ma, presumably the two of them must have gotten huge benefits. It is very likely that they have found an immortal cave left over by the foundation building. Brother Ma, I heard that your little son has already concentrated on the 9th floor and wants to get it. Foundation building Dan, the spirit stones in his hand are still a lot worse. When he was mentioned about his youngest son, Ma Tianqing's expression changed. In order to exchange for the foundation building Dan, he had already sold all his belongings and owed a foreign debt. Although decades have passed, he has gradually paid off, but he has not accumulated much in the foundation as a cultivator of foundation building for many years. Ma Renji, the youngest son of Ma Tianqing, has been 9-tiered since he was less than 40 years old. He is also the second spiritual roots cultivator, and he has great confidence in the breakthrough foundation building. Although the Ma family has developed relatively smoothly over the years, he has not done much to the family, and it is impossible for the family to make an exception to exchange for the foundation building Dan. Ma Renji can only rely on his father if he wants the foundation building. Ma Tianqing's face is overcast and sunny. If you really want to deal with Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming, you have to find a good cause, otherwise the two will join the Qingyun sect and it will be difficult for him to end, especially Lin Qianlong, which makes him still feel a little scared. After thinking about it for a long time, Ma Tianqing's heart swayed and said, Okay, but we must be clean at this time, and we can't leave the slightest evidence, otherwise the Lin Bai family will make trouble in the Azure Cloud sect, and I am afraid that the patriarch will not be able to keep us. Seeing Ma Tianqing breathe a sigh of relief, Lu Haipeng was overjoyed, and the corners of his eyes clouded. Ha ha, I promise to do it without knowing it. The two discussed afterwards. Although the two battles in Fengyuanfang City are dominant and there is also a foundation building cultivator sitting here, they dare not do anything here. Fengyuanfang City is under the jurisdiction of Qingyunzong. Qingyunzong can tolerate their open and secret fights, but they will never allow them to kill and win treasures, otherwise the reputation of Qingyunzong will be ruined, and no one will dare to trade in Qingyunzong again. This is to cut their money. To cut off people's wealth is tantamount to killing their parents, and Qingyun sect will never tolerate it. Therefore, the two finally discussed that they should start outside Fengyuanfang City, so that even if they were investigated, they could still shirk their actions. After that, they would wait for Lin Haoyang to leave Fengyuanfang City. However, Lin Haoyang has just obtained such a large amount of Tier 3 refiner materials. Of course, he must first hone his own refiner skills and prepare to break through Tier 3 refiners. Recently, he will not leave Fengyuanfang City easily. Bai Zuoming was different. It was indeed because he was a little scared that he decided to hide in Fengyuanfang City for some time, and then return to the clan after the storm passed. In this way, another year passed. In this year, Lin Haoyang finally broke through the 9 layers of the veins. However, Lin Haoyang's spirit power still has some room for growth. After another year or two, when the spirit power is fully solidified, Lin Haoyang will think about preparing for the foundation building. It has been 8 years since he went down the mountain to guard the Lingtian at the age of 16. Lin Haoyang has not only reached the 9th level of condensing veins in spirit power, but also reached the peak of the 2nd level high-grade craftsmanship, and is only 1 step away from the 3rd level. During this period of time, Lin Haoyang was thinking about going to Qingyunzong, where he wanted to use the Earth Fire Breakthrough 3rd Order Refiner. Not only that, but the first level of the Buddha's profound reality technique has been nearly completed by Lin Haoyang's insight in the past 8 years. 80% of his spirit power has been converted into the unique spirit power of the Buddha Xuanzhen art. In terms of the strength of spirit power, Lin Haoyang is not much worse than the cultivator on the 1st floor of the foundation building. One day, the Lin family sent someone to send a letter, and Lin Qianlong asked Lin Haoyang to go back. He had something to discuss. Lin Haoyang didn't think much, so he hurried to the Lin family. As for the Ma Lu family, he really didn't care about it now. The moment Lin Haoyang stepped out of Fengyuanfang City, someone notified Ma Tianqing and Lu Haipeng. The two people had been guarding and looking for opportunities since they made up their minds to ambush Lin Haoyang and Bai Zuoming a year ago. Wait, it's a year. The two dared not delay or take the family disciple, so they had to leave quietly and chase Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang rushed back to Lin's house as soon as he left Fengyuanfang City. Although he was not afraid of being intercepted, he had better be careful, but he was overtaken by Ma Tianqing and Lu Haipeng after he had walked more than 1,000 miles. Although the foundation building cultivator can fly with the sword, in order to help Lu Haipeng enter the water, the two still chase Lin Haoyang from the road. Lu Haipeng is a 9th floor cultivator with a cultivation technique that is good at speed. They only caught up with Lin Haoyang from 1,000 miles away. Seeing the two people in front of him, Lin Haoyang's eyes changed slightly. He guessed that when he left the city, the Ma and Lu family might send someone to rob and kill, so they left at full speed all the way, but he did not expect that it would be Ma Tianqing and he who came after him. With Lu Haipeng, things would be difficult to handle in this way. Lin, fellow Taoist, why are you leaving in such a hurry? Isn't it? What kind of baby do you have? Lu Haipeng smiled wickedly, with some crazy expression on his face, but Ma Tianqing looked much quieter by the side. Oh, Guan Shi is well informed, but if the matter of murder and treasure in this shop is spread, wouldn't the two of you be afraid that Qing Yunzong will be held accountable? Lin Haoyang said with a slight expression. After listening to Lin Haoyang's words, Ma Tianqing's expression flashed a little bit of struggle, obviously still a little worried, but Lu Haipeng would give him a chance, immediately sacrificed a golden giant scissors, came straight to Lin Haoyang, and shouted. Brother Ma, think about your son. Ma Tuking's face turned dark, with a trace of determination on his face, and at the same time he offered his own flying sword and took Lin Haoyang's head straight. But a Lu Haipeng, Lin Haoyang is not yet to put in one's eyes, mainly for Ma Tianqing. He is very jealous, although it is only on the 2nd floor of the foundation building, it is still much better than him. Lin Haoyang didn't dare to neglect, and with a touch of his hand on the storage bag, he sacrificed 3 swords to form a sword formation. After cutting Lu Haipeng's gold, another black shadow flew out of his storage bag and stopped Ma Tianqing's flying sword. This black shadow was the foundation building puppet harvested a year ago. Seeing the foundation building puppet, Ma Tianqing's expression condensed, somewhat surprised, but Lu Haipeng showed a crazy look on his face, saying, Brother Ma, his Lin family would never have such a tier 3 puppet, otherwise he hadn't seen it for so many years. This puppet must have been obtained a year ago. It is enough to show that their harvest a year ago is great. Quote. At this moment, Ma Tianqing lost the last trace of sanity in his heart and began to urge Flying Sword to attack wildly. The foundation building puppet is quite boofin. Facing Ma Tianqing's offense, he was only a little short. It seems that Ma Tuking can't hold the foundation building puppet in a short time. Fortunately, when Lin Haoyang encountered this puppet before, no one controlled it, otherwise Lin Haoyang and the others would definitely not be opponents. Seeing that Ma Tianqing couldn't take Lin Haoyang for a while, Lu Peng was also shocked, and then he became ruthless in his heart, controlling the golden scissors to attack the Senkai sword formation. At this moment, Lin Haoyang was extremely helpless. Lu Haipeng was not worth mentioning to him, but urging the foundation building puppet to block Ma Tianqing has consumed 60% of his mind. Facing Lu Haipeng, he just barely urged the 3 talents to resist. 1 or 2, but if it keeps dragging on like this, it must be Lin Haoyang who can't hold it first. 3%. Chapter 29 Deaths. At this moment, the only way to break the game is to get rid of Lu Haipeng first, and then use the foundation building puppet to deal with Ma Tianqing. Even if he is not an opponent, he can escape with a little more certainty. With the decision, Lin Haoyang also surged in his heart, leaving only 30% of his mind to control the foundation building puppet, and more of his mind to deal with Lu Haipeng. But when Lin Haoyang focused on Lu Haipeng, the Senkai sword array showed its due power. One Senkai sword stopped the golden scissors, and the other 2 went straight to Lu Haipeng. Faced with this sudden change, Lu Haipeng was shocked, but he is also a person who has been on the 9th layer of the 9th vessel for many years and has rich experience. A black flag was immediately sacrificed to block the 2 Senkai swords. As long as Lin Haoyang can't break the defense for a while, Ma Tianqing can quickly solve the foundation building puppet. By that time, Lin Haoyang will not be able to escape with his wings. Lin Haoyang smiled at the corner of his mouth. If his Senkai sword was stopped so easily, he wouldn't have to spend so much effort to refine it with Tier 3 materials. Lin Haoyang suddenly urged the tactics, and a golden light appeared on the Senkai sword, and its power immediately rose. The two Senkai swords directly broke the Black Flag's defense and took Lu Haipeng's head directly. Seeing that the black banner was broken by Lin Haoyang so easily, Lu Haipeng was shocked, and pressed down a trace of perseverance in his heart, and wiped it on the storage bag, and a Tier 3 low-grade defensive charm was sacrificed by him. Suddenly, the spirit talisman turned into a blue-green mask, and you could vaguely see the shadows of trees on the mask, and the two three-handed swords were only rippling on it. Lin Haoyang, this green wood talisman is a protective thing that I saved many years ago. With these two flying swords, you can't break it even if you give you another hour. Hey, when you die, these three flying swords it's mine. Lu Haipeng said arrogantly, standing under the magic talisman. Facing Lu Haipeng's arrogance, Lin Haoyang smiled and said, "Really, I want to see how long your turtle shell can last under my flames." Lin Haoyang flipped the palm of his hand, and the ancient bronze lamp was taken out by him. With Lin Haoyang's current spirit power, it could barely activate 80% of the power of the ancient lamp, and the spirit power would not be exhausted immediately afterwards. Boom! With Lin Haoyang's urging, a flame suddenly blasted on the green wood cover, suddenly like a sea of fire. The green wood talisman is a wood attribute magic talisman. In the face of the fire-attributed bronze ancient lamp, its defense power will be weakened by half. Ma Tianqing on the side saw that Lin Haoyang had taken out the bronze ancient lamp, and immediately made a bad sound in secret, and immediately launched a frenzied attack on the foundation building puppet. Without Lin Haoyang's large amount of restraint, the foundation building puppets were soon suppressed, just when Ma Tianqing wanted to kill the foundation building puppets with one hit. A red light appeared in the eyes of the foundation building puppet, and then rushed towards Ma Tianqing like crazy. For a while, Ma Tianqing could hardly get out. Compared to Ma Tianqing, Lu Haipeng was already terrified to the extreme at this moment. He didn't expect that Lin Haoyang still had a Tier 3 magical item that just restrained him. Moreover, Lin Haoyang's 9 layers of condensed veins were so powerful that the green wood cover made by his green wood magic talisman dimmed in just a few breaths. I was afraid that it would take more than 10 breaths for the flame to when the green wood cover broke, he would definitely be unable to escape by then. He is now cursing Ma Tianqing in his heart. He is a solid foundation building 2-story cultivator. It can't solve a puppet controlled by a small part of the mind to deal with a pulse cultivator. It can't be solved for so long. Lost it all. Lin Haoyang urged the Senkai sword and the ancient bronze lamp to attack the Qingmu Xiao while controlling the foundation building puppet to stop Ma Tianqing. Only he himself understood the difficulties. If another cultivator came, the spirit power would have been drained long ago, and only Lin Haoyang, the special spirit power of the Buddha profound art, could barely resist it. However, Lin Haoyang himself did not realize that under such a strong desire to survive and pressure, his remaining 20% of spirit power quickly turned black. Boom! After more than 10 breaths, the green wood cover finally couldn't hold the flame of the ancient bronze lamp. After a loud noise, it turned into a spiritual light and dissipated. At the moment the green wood cover shattered, Lu Haipeng wanted to escape. But where would Lin Haoyang give him a chance? Immediately spurring 2 Senkai swords, beheading his head from behind, and the head landing, Lu Haipeng's eyes are still full of unwillingness. Lin Haoyang has never been merciful to the enemy. Sankai Jian went round and hooked back the storage bag from Lu Haipeng's body. Lu Haipeng died, and of course the golden scissors fell into Lin Haoyang's hands. Lin Haoyang just cut the gold into his hands, and Ma Tianqing also ended the battle. Seeing that Lin Haoyang had actually cut Lu Haipeng, Ma Tianqing felt anxious, and immediately sacrificed a Tier 3 inferior charm, and cooperated with the flying sword in his hand to finally win the foundation building puppet. At this moment, the puppet had been put in his storage bag. He couldn't bear to discard this kind of good thing. After he collected the puppet, he came to Lin Haoyang. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang rushed violently, and 2 medium-grade spirit stones appeared in his hands to restore spirit power. The foundation building cultivator can fly with the sword, and Ma Tianqing will be able to catch up with him in less than 20 breaths. When there is no foundation building puppet as a helper, Lin Haoyang can't stop Ma Tianqing on the 2nd floor of the foundation building. Lin Haoyang rushed all the way, stimulating the spirit power in his body to the extreme. The black spirit power accounted for nearly 90%. Such a short time is equivalent to Lin Haoyang's 1 year of hard cultivation. 20 breaths passed quietly, and Ma Tianqing had already caught up with Lin Haoyang, and immediately urged the flying sword in his hand to kill Lin Haoyang. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang touched his storage bag, and the top of the Guiyuan Tower was at the back. Since the Guiyuan Tower saved his life last time, he has repaired it again. However, in the face of the full attack of the foundation building cultivator, Guiyuan Tower only took 3 blows and its aura was dim. In the 4th blow, it was disintegrated by Ma Tianqing's flying sword. The magical item was destroyed. Lin Haoyang gushed out of blood, but Lin Haoyang didn't dare to vomit, he vomited. As soon as his energy was scattered, he never had the slightest chance to escape Ma Tianqing's palm. With the delayed 5 breaths of Guiyuan Pagoda, Lin Haoyang once again escaped a kilometer away. Ma Tianqing was annoyed when he saw this. He, a foundation building cultivator, couldn't get a 9th floor condensing vein for so long. If he speaks out, the face is lost. Ma Tianqing hurriedly urged Sword Ray to chase Lin Haoyang again. At a distance of kilometers, Ma Tianqing's imperial sword caught up again in a few breaths, and Lin Haoyang showed a ruthless look in his heart, urging his magic skills, and the 3-handed Senkai sword went straight to Ma Tianqing. Ma Tianqing saw the 3-handed 2nd-tier flying sword coming straight to him. A trace of sarcasm appeared on his mouth, and he just wanted to split it with a sword. Boom! The 3-handed Senkai sword exploded suddenly, and the smoke and fire of the explosion immediately wrapped Ma Tianqing. After Lin Haoyang urged the Senkai sword to explode, he didn't look at the result at all, and rushed for his life. The basis of the Senkai sword is the spider legs of the Tier 3 Crypt Spider King. They explode, equivalent to the self-detonation power of a Tier 3 magical item, and Ma Tianqing is as close as the Senkai sword. Immediately, Ma Tianqing was injured by the spontaneous power, with a trace of blood hanging from the corner of his mouth, and after the explosion, one of the blades of the Senkai sword shot into Ma Tianqing's abdomen, making a huge wound, almost breaking his stomach. When the explosive power dissipated, Lin Haoyang had run 2 or 3 kilometers away, but at this time, where did Ma Tianqing dare to let Lin Haoyang go back alive? Immediately he urged Flying Sword to chase Lin Haoyang, but this time Ma Tianqing was twice as slow as before. At a distance of 3,000 meters, Ma Tianqing just took half of the time to catch up. At this time, Lin Haoyang was exhausted, although 90% of the spirit power in his body had turned black. However, the spirit power in Lin Haoyang's body now is like a gossamer. Just when Lin Haoyang picked up the ancient bronze lamp and wanted to explode again, a female voice came from Lin Haoyang's ear. "Ha, Lin Haoyang, why are you? Ha, Lin Haoyang, why are you? Ha, Lin Haoyang."